I think that's crazy though.
What's good?
king and his men stole the queen from her bed.
Touchdown!
Bound her and her bone.
Jones takes it
The
in.
seas be ours, and by the powers where we will roam.
Coca-Cola.
What is good, Raider Nation? Welcome back to yet another episode of our Raiders Friday Night Roundtable. I'm joined by my friends Dustin and Eric. Say what's up, everybody.
Salute. What's up, y'all?
Salute Raider Nation, salute to the mods, salute to the chat, salute to everybody on the panel, salute Lunatic, John, Dark, Richard, anybody else, AJ, and anybody else missed. Appreciate all you guys showing up, and thank you very much.
Facts, yeah. As always, salute to the members of this panel for showing up. As always, salute to the mods in the chat for holding it down. We wouldn't be able to do the show without you guys, as always. And last but not least, thank you to our viewers for watching and commenting along with us as we begin this broadcast. We got another great one for you guys, as always. Just a quick reminder before we do get started, our YouTube chat bot, which is called the Nightbot, you guys will see it in the comments section. In just a couple short minutes, it will be posting various links to various platforms related to us here at DSR. So if you guys wouldn't mind at your earliest convenience, when you do see the Nightbot post those comments in the comments section, those various links to all of our platforms, if you wouldn't mind following, clicking on all those links to just tap in with us on all those platforms, that would be greatly appreciated. Just to give you guys a quick rundown of all those platforms so you know what to keep an eye out for. First and foremost, the Nightbot is going to give you guys a link to our YouTube channel, which we're currently broadcasting to. That's the Death Star Report YouTube channel. So if you guys haven't already, if you're on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, hitting the notification bell, like as many videos as possible, and commenting on as many videos as possible. That'd be greatly appreciated. The Nightbot is also going to give you guys a link to our Twitch channel, the Death Star Report on Twitch, which we're also currently broadcasting to. If you guys haven't already, if you're on Twitch, if you wouldn't mind giving us a follow there as well, that would be greatly appreciated. The Nightbot is also going to give you guys a link to our Instagram account, the Death Star Report on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, if you haven't already, if you wouldn't mind following the link, giving us a follow, throwing some likes on some of our posts, and maybe even sharing some of our posts, not only to your story, but to your friends over DMs. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. And last but certainly not least, the Nightbot is also going to give you guys a link to our DSR Discord server. We say last but not least because we'd especially like for you guys to keep an eye out for that link, as the Discord server is really what we consider to be the heart of what we do here at DSR. It's a tremendous community. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on in there, and it's a great way to bond with a whole bunch of people, not only over all things Raiders, but over a wide variety of topics. In that Discord, we obviously have a Raiders chat where we talk about all things Raiders. We have a general chat where we talk about life in general. We talk about the NFL at large. We have fantasy leagues, both NFL and NBA. Speaking of which, now that the NFL season is fast and approaching, we're now beginning to set up and recruit people for our various fantasy leagues, our fantasy football leagues within the Discord server. It's a $0 buy-in for everyone who joins, and it's a $25 reward for everyone who wins each league. So 0% risk, 100% of the profit and benefit goes to you guys if you guys win the league. And it's also just a great, fun way to compete with a bunch of other people in the server. So that's another great reason to join the Discord as soon as possible, as you guys could hop in one of these fantasy leagues. As I also said, we also offer NBA fantasy leagues. So if you guys are into basketball, when the NBA season rolls around, we're going to be having NBA fantasy leagues as well. Outside of that, we also have leagues inside the Discord server related to what are called Pick'em leagues, which is another sort of game inside the ESPN fantasy app, where you basically predict who's going to win every single NFL matchup week in and week out. And ESPN keeps track of who has the most points as far as who has most accurately predicted throughout the weeks, all the matchups. So that's another great, fun sort of competitive thing to do inside the Discord, and another great reason to join as soon as possible. Other than that, inside that Discord server, we also talk about other sports leagues like the NBA, NHL, and MLB. We have promotional events like free giveaways. We have free movie nights, which is a great way, especially on a weekend night. A bunch of us just hop in the server and just watch a movie together. That's another great way to bond. We have that going on as well. We have channels dedicated to Raiders content creators on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And we even have channels dedicated to news updates throughout various sports leagues. So you guys can stay up to date with up to the minute information on various sports leagues. So like I said, it's a tremendous community. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on in there. We'd love to have you guys. Like I said, it's even better to join as soon as possible because you can take part in some great stuff like our fantasy leagues or our DSR Pick'em leagues. Those are really fun as well. So, like I said, if you wouldn't mind, keeping an eye out for the Nightbot to post a link to our DSR Discord server. And if you haven't already, joining us there at that Discord server, if you have a Discord account, that would be greatly appreciated. So, like I said, guys, you guys could just keep an eye out throughout this broadcast for the Nightbot to post links to the Death Star Report YouTube channel, the DSR Twitch channel, the Death Star Report on Instagram, and last but not least, the DSR Discord server. So like I said, guys, if you could just, whenever you see those links pop up in the comment section from the Nightbot, if you could just follow all those links and tap in with us on all those platforms, we do appreciate it tremendously. And the Nightbot will be posting all of these links multiple times throughout the duration of this broadcast. So you guys will have ample opportunity to check out all those links. So like I said, we do thank you guys and appreciate it in advance for tapping in with us on all those platforms. And so with all that out of the way and without further ado, let's begin our show with our first topic. So obviously today in Raider Nation was a relatively newsworthy, pretty big news kind of a day. Obviously we have stuff going on ranging from the performances in the joint practice with the 49ers to a relatively pretty big and what some might consider a surprising signing in running back Damien Williams, former Super Bowl champion, I might add, Damien Williams. So just to start off the broadcast with our first topic, why don't we just talk about this new signing, this bringing of this new player? Like I said, veteran running back, Super Bowl champion, albeit a couple years ago. And in that Super Bowl, a major contributor, especially in the Chiefs' playoff run in 2019 to lead them to a title. So why don't we just go around the panel and talk about our thoughts on the signing? Do we love it? Do we hate it? Do we think it's just a depth move? Do we feel as though there could be an ulterior motive from his franchise as far as signing him? What do we think? Ozzy, you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure, man. So it's just Dark's comment. Sorry, man. So yeah, I think the writing's kind of on the wall in the point, not that we want sign Jokers, but that the fact that like it's like, dude, either take what we're offering you or we're gonna move on. Like we got other ways of doing shit. Like I mean, Dustin's kind of spoke on it before. I've spoken on it before. It's at the point now where it's like you got to put the shield before the player. At this point, it's Jacob said, okay, so Jacob said, replace me or whatever. Well, that's what they're gonna do. Like Jacob wants to test Ziegler, that's what he's gonna do, man. Like I feel like Ziegler's not someone to be tested. He'll figure out a way to get the same production one way or another, like or something similar, close to it. And then having someone like Damien Williams, who's a veteran back, and provide that veteran leadership in a very young running back room outside of Bolden and that. I do think, though, if you get Damien Williams, Brandon Bolden's days may be numbered, just because they might keep him on as a third or maybe fourth guy, but I just doubt it, man. Like, I'd rather keep, if we're gonna have Damian Williams on the team, keep Amir Abdullah, and then like as a scat back, and then keep Zeus and Britton Brown, or Zeus and
yeah, but I think I think he would be here for Dula, because I was looking into this guy. You know, he's 31 years old. He's been in the league for 9 years. He's been here since 2014. I think Miami drafted him and from 2014 to 17, and then the Chiefs. He went to the Chiefs 18 and 19, Chicago 21, Atlanta last year, but he didn't even really play there last year. And then what he had, they said 1,397 rushing yards, averaged 4.2 yards per carry. His receptions was 154 receiving yards, or 154 receptions. His receiving yards was 1,209. He averaged 7.9 yards. So, I mean, fuck, I think scat back all the way. You know what I mean? Like,
so
he got scat back, and he got scat back and rushing numbers. You know what I mean? The only problem is he didn't do nothing last year. So I don't know if he was injured or what the deal was with that deal. But, you know, in Chicago, it said in 2001 or 21. So, like I said, I don't really know much about the guy a lot. I mean, fucking people made it sound like if this fool was on the team, you know, the Chiefs just right now, but this fool was back there in 18, 19. So, I mean, his numbers ain't bad for a rotational player. I mean, he's got good numbers. I mean, 1,397 yards ain't slouch numbers, averaging 4.2 yards in his career, 1,209 yards receiving, 7.9 average, you know, pretty much 8. Like, it's not bad. I mean, I think it's actually pretty good if you think about it. For a depth piece, I think it's actually a pretty good piece. So,
yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. But it's like, okay, do you think we still keep Bolden though, if we're having him?
I mean,
I don't know, man.
It's just tough because
yeah,
I think it's tough. Salute the Menace. I think it's tough because I think you're gonna probably see him. I think it'll be like him, Emil, Amir, and Bolden. You know what I mean? Like, I think it would be against them because at the end of the day, they're all older players. You know what I mean? Like, they're all older. They're all going to be out. So I don't think you're going to want to try to compete him against a younger group of guys because that's your future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think when you're looking at it, you would probably want to see like Williams, Bolden, Amir, and then that would be the competition right there for me. And that's why I think like Amir would have a hands up because he knows the system. But you never know dudes like this right here. I mean, obviously, I don't know what he's done in that Super Bowl run right there.
It was decent for him.
Yeah, so I mean that kind of stuff matters, you know. Those.
Because I remember when we played against him a couple of times when we were being in the division with the Chiefs, it was pretty decent. Like he's no Jacobs or nothing like that, but he's decent though. Like he's a solid running back.
Yeah, and if you're averaging 8 yards per carry, dude, like in the receiving, that's pretty good when you're down on the goal line.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He's a guy that, he can run
4.2 rushing is McDaniel's numbers, so that's all.
Yeah, that's all we need. Like I said before, we need about 4.2 to get the numbers. So I meant but I just don't see us keeping more than 2 veteran backs. Even if we keep like 5 guys, like 4 backs and Jacob Johnson as a fullback, like that's 5. I don't see us keeping more than 5. So he'd have to replace one of the veteran backs, I would think, because I'm pretty sure they should keep Britton Brown and Zeus, and maybe Sincere could end up being protected practice work, but we'll see. So he'd have to replace either Bolden or Amir, I reckon. So I don't know. I'd rather Bolden's good, like he was good. But I just feel like he's the oldest one on the team, and I feel like we're moving more towards younger players. So I don't know, but we'll see. You could be right though. He could replace him and we keep Bolden as the main leader of the running back room, I guess. With that veteran presence in the running back room. Because he does know the system and he could teach the young kids and stuff. Because I feel like that's what they're doing. I feel like that's what they're doing. They're keeping one veteran guy in each room and then the rest is youth. Basically, we're keeping like 2 or 3 guys in the room that are old and then the rest are youth. Which is how you got to build a roster, really. Anyway, so go ahead, guys.
Yeah. I mean, as far as Brandon Bolden specifically is concerned, I would say 2 major reasons stand in the way of the Raiders moving on from him. The first is that obviously he has experience, with the Patriots, with Josh McDaniels, in fact. So right then and there, he has an advantage from an understanding the scheme standpoint. But secondly, my remembrance was that he functioned mainly as a passing back, sort of on third down, coming out of the backfield, running routes, to sort of complement, the Ramondre Stevensons and the Damian Harrises of the world that the Patriots had just a couple of years ago. He was the passing game to their running game. So those 2 things being the case, along with, as you mentioned, Ozzy, the fact that he probably adds some kind of veteran presence, especially for the relatively younger guys. I would say that, somewhere in the depth chart, he would continue to find a spot on the team. I don't exactly know where. I don't know what his pecking order is. That's obviously for the coaching staff to decide. But, for those reasons, I would probably say that Brandon Bolden's job is safe. Now, when it comes to the running back room in general, and obviously the way in which this team is planning on using Damian Williams, especially with respect to what kind of decision Josh Jacobs makes when it comes to, his whether or not he's going to play this year for the Raiders, if he plays at all for that matter. Because the headline that I saw when the news was first broken to me, that the Raiders had signed him today, was that they had added running back depth. So essentially, and I believe it was ESPN that I saw that headline from. So from ESPN's standpoint, Damian Williams is nothing more than a depth piece. So if that's the case, I guess the implication there is that this will in fact put enough pressure on Josh Jacobs to eventually sign. In one way or another, I mean, I guess it's possible that in the same way that the Giants technically they came up with a new deal for Saquon Barkley that was a little bit more than the franchise tag, but it was still basically the same deal, plus or minus, $1 million or $2 million. So maybe there's an outside, I suppose, possibility, chance of that happening. So, if Damian Williams, if he's just a depth piece, then yeah, I mean, it's possible that he could very well compete with guys like Brandon Bolden or maybe, Amir Abdullah for that matter, to be in that sort of RB2 slot, change of pace back kind of role for the team. But, if Josh Jacobs does not end up playing or being ready, at least to start the season, then, like I said, I think Brandon Bolden in particular, his job is safe. But like I said, I don't know how that's going to shake up the running back room for the rest of these guys. So it'll be interesting to see how things evolve. I think over the next several days, it'll be very interesting to keep an eye on Josh Jacobs and his behavior, whether that involves actually coming to terms with the Raiders in some way, shape, or form, or if he's just maybe he sends out another one of his cryptic tweets or Instagram stories or something like that. Because if I remember correctly, it was less than a day. It took Saquon Barkley less than a day after the Giants added James Robinson to their roster. It was less than a day, if that, for him to sign. It was very quick. So, maybe within the next 24 hours, we could see a Josh Jacobs signing of some sort. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. Eric, was there anything you like to would like to add?
Yeah, I'm not digging too much into the signing. Like, I'm not I'm not like pressured by it. Like more than likely, it's a death piece, and that's all it is. I mean, if he's there opening night, oh well. But this is nothing more than just see what you got. See if you're fit, and if you're not, you're always cut. This is not affecting Josh. He's not gonna be RB1. None of that. He's just gonna be just sitting on the depth chart. Like everybody said, a death piece. Now, who is he in front of? That's up for debate. For debate. But as of right
Yeah.
now, he's just sitting there. He's just there just in case someone gets hurt, or if you wanted to change up the offense a little bit. It's nothing too much. It's nothing too much to get like pressured about or dig into. It's just like signing somebody just to sign them, and then you cut them a few weeks later. Nothing much. Nothing too deep. Am I going to have him? I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm not moved by the signing. It's not like it's not like a It doesn't move the needle for me. He just and plus it's preseason. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. He won't be here opening. I told you, he's not playing any major downs unless it's like like a third or fourth down, and it's a certain play call. But he would not be a major part of the play calling or the offense. Preseason, yes, but regular season, I highly doubt it. Nothing to worry about, Raider fans. Nothing to worry about. Next topic, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the Damian Williams, as a player, especially if history is any indication of his play in the future, assuming that he gets the kind of volume that that would be required of him in relief of Josh Jacobs. This is a guy who has never topped. I don't think he's ever reached actually 500 yards in a single season, at least in the regular season. But
Right.
his real big claim to fame, as I said earlier, was his incredible performance in the Chiefs Super Bowl run in the 2019-2020 season, including an incredible Super Bowl performance. In fact, for my money, I knew this was never going to happen, but for my money, I probably would have had him be named Super Bowl MVP over Mahomes. Now, obviously, we all know that wasn't going to happen, but my point is that he did have that tremendous playoff run, and I think he could, at least on paper, I definitely could see him being a pretty quality depth piece. I mean, getting 500, maybe 600 yards, in a year for a change of pace back, especially if you already have a guy who could be an 1,000-yard rusher. You could put together a decent run game that way. I would argue. So, like I said, I mean, it's when you look at production on paper, Damian Williams, as you said, Eric, probably doesn't warrant a lot of excitement necessarily. But at the same time, as I'm sure everyone else's gut reaction was, or knee-jerk reaction to it was, this was to send a message to Josh Jacobs. This is at least to me, it seemed like it was the same exact thing that the Giants did with James Robinson. They put pressure on Saquon. It clearly worked because, like I said, almost immediately thereafter, Saquon Barkley agreed to terms with the Giants. So,
I mean, it's arguably to say that he is easily the third, fourth, or fifth best halfback on our team, easily. Because all you'd be going by is Zamir. Zamir hasn't even played in the NFL, so you're just hoping that he's going to be the better. And the same with Sincere. So, I mean, I'm just putting two dudes in the head just because they're young and competing right now at that spot. Then you got Bolden and Amir. Like, Brown isn't going to compete to Williams. Like, that. Brown hasn't even taken any snaps to his level yet. So, like, again, another player you're waiting on. It's easily to say that Williams can be anywhere between the third and fifth best back on this team at the moment. So, like I said, he has a run and catch versatility, dude. So I think that matters a lot. Scat back type halfbacks like that matter. And I've even spoke on it like 20 times on our lives about about our halfbacks having 2 or 3 of them in there and having halfbacks that one's at 600-700 yards, one's at fucking 600 yards, one's at 400 yards. And I mean, depending on when his yards show up, can be viable to the team, and especially in the playoffs. So like I said, I mean, Bolden hasn't even been doing shit, dude. And if Williams comes in and shows that he can catch on and play well, he's going to hop over Bolden. And it doesn't matter if Bolden stays here or not. He's still going to be over Bolden. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying is like, I don't think he's going to be anything major. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's anything major. I don't mean it to any deal like that. I agree with what Eric's saying to the extent. But the extent is he does have the experience. Like, he does have it, and he's been there, and he's been on a Super Bowl team. I mean, like I said, it's just, like I said, I think he's one of the better backs on our team at the end of the day as a backup, not starting as a backup.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, another thing to sort of consider when it comes to Damian Williams is his age as well, right? Especially, now that we're in this era of really putting running backs, under a great amount of
31.
scrutiny, and in some respects, rightfully so. The guy's 31 years old. He's been out of the league. Well, I don't think he's been out of the league, but he has not really been able to get to. He's not really been able to return to that form that we saw, like I said, in that one playoff run. And so, I mean, it's very well possible that, that was just sort of his Linsanity run, his Nick Foles run, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it was just a period in time where he just had it all clicking, firing on all cylinders. Obviously, he was part of a great team in the Chiefs that year. So, if they are to consider him at the top of their depth chart, especially in the absence of Josh Jacobs, there is some risk involved as far as, betting on a guy who, like I said, has not, first of all, in the regular season, never reached 500 yards in a single season. So,
and let's be real, I just did the math on it. He's only averaged 18 run and pass carries catches per season. So he's only getting 18 total per season, because he has 1397 running, and then he has 1209 receiving. He has 154 receptions, which is 17 times 9. 17 times 9 is going to be 153. So that's like I said, I just think he's not getting very many receptions per year, is what I'm trying to say.
Damian Williams.
Williams. He's been here since 2014. He's been here just as long as Carr's been in the NFL, 9 years.
Right.
So if he's been here 9 years and he's only averaging 18 receptions and runs per year average, you know what I mean, an average, then I don't think that's too good.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And looking at his stats myself right now, I mean, so that 2019 regular season was also statistically, throughout the regular season as well, his best year. But even then, he only had five touchdowns. That was the only year of his career in which he had over 100 attempts rushing. So yeah, I mean, not a lot of volume, which conventional wisdom would say, that just means he's not very good. And like I said, now he's over 30. So, obviously I have to imagine this is only a 1-year deal. So, not really that big of a risk.
It might not even be anything like that. It might just be a in and out cut deal. You know what I mean?
You mean like he won't survive training camp, or?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like he might get in here and not even make it out of training camp, so we might not owe this guy shit. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's possible. Yeah, I think it would all depend on, like I said, how Josh Jacobs operates in response to the signing.
Yeah, because I think this one is with Jacobs. I don't even think it really matters. You know what I mean? Like you need somebody young or somebody worth the shit to make it bother Jacobs. You know what I mean? Like you need somebody that's gonna like. You think that if he's sitting there, if he's sitting at home on the couch and he's like, the Raiders just signed Williams, fuck, try to replace me, like he's laughing. You know what I mean? Like he's fucking laughing. So I don't think that.
So I don't know
I don't.
about that. So Dustin, just real quick, I don't know about that. I think if I'm Jacobs and I'm sitting on the couch, I'm thinking, yeah, they signed this guy. He's definitely not a feature back, but it is showing that Ziegler is serious about rounding out this running back by committee situation. And I am expendable. At the end of the day, hey, if I'm working at a company and I'm not signing a certain contract, but I see the company hiring other people that may not be as good as me,
Yeah,
my
but
blood
that's
pressure's
like
still going up.
that's like going outside in the orchard and picking up fucking smush fruit in the fucking field. Like that people stomp over and then fucking tell me like that's worth it. Josh is laughing at this signing market. Like he ain't going over there. This isn't, oh, look at this beautiful apple off the fucking tree and how beautiful it is. This is like applesauce in the orchard, dude. Literally. Like literally, look on the ground, pick it up. He's not stressing this in any means, dude. Like I said, this guy be lucky if he makes it out of camp. Market. Well,
But I think on the flip side, like Josh is thinking, hey, you know what? These might be smushed apples or whatever, but they're picking up apples nonetheless.
Yeah, but
And I
the
may
thing
not
at
be
the
as
end of the
shiny
day,
as I think I am. I may
yeah,
not be
at
as
the end of
shiny
the
as I think I
day,
am.
at the end of the day, Josh Jacobs' apple is going to be better than every single one of them. He can walk in on the last day of camp and then sign that contract and play right then. So that guy would be nothing. And we'll see later.
I agree. But
So
then
that's
even
my
in that
point. So
situation,
the
right?
pickup is irrelevant. The pickup's irrelevant. If they sign him, if they sign him right now, right, and then say on the last day of the camp, Jacob signs, they cut him. What's the point? The talking conversation?
Well,
That's the point.
no, but
That's the point, right? So I think this is what you're going to say, Jeff. So the point is, it was a forcing mechanism to get you to go ahead and sign. So then
It's not a forcing
nonetheless.
mechanism. Listen,
it's not helping.
It's not a force. Listen. It's not a forced mechanism if he's planned this the whole time. Like you can't manipulate the situation and then say, oh, see, that's why Josh signed. No, the fuck it isn't. No, it's not. Josh said, and as included, that he'll probably sign the last week of the fucking training camp and roll in week 1. He's already, multiple reports have come out. So you can't just twist up the conversation and then say, oh, see, he signed because of that. No, he didn't. There's multiple reports that state Josh has stated numerous times that he'll be signing by week 1. Had nothing to do with that fucking halfback, dude. Like, that's the thing. If you're going out and
it's definitely a factor.
Like Jamal Williams,
that's what I'm saying. It's definitely a factor.
Well, hey, you can think it is, but nothing's going to stop it. I mean, if you get Jamal Williams, that would be a factor. Like, that's what I would do. Like Jamal Williams, that would be like, okay, JJ, like then that would be a whole different story, dude. But they're not gonna be like, oh, bring Williams for send the tag. Fuck, crazy.
You mean the guy on the Saints?
Yeah, I'm just using it for an example. Like it'd be a different fucking type of boost. You know what I mean? Like if we went over and fucking traded for Jamal Williams and then pulled the tag, or something that has to be that deal. Like Josh is not sweating fucking Williams, not in any way, shape, or form. He ain't sweating Zeus. He ain't sweating Brown. He's played on the field with these dudes. Bolden, like he's played with these guys. Like again, I've said it 100 times, dude. He's gonna sign it on the last day, and there ain't nothing gonna change. The only thing that's gonna change is the people's conversations each week leading up to that point. They're going to change the fucking narrative of, well, this guy and that. They could, whatever. It doesn't matter. Josh has already stated it. So any point to that point has no effect to what Josh does. And if Josh chooses to sit out the whole year, then good. Williams ain't helping our fucking team, so great signing, you know? Like I said, in his whole dude last year, I can't even remember if I seen the stat right. Last year he had like one reception for what, nothing. Then the year before he was in Chicago, he was still minimal, 18 and 19. So we're like, yeah, this is a great signing. Dude was picked last time this guy even did anything was with the Chiefs in 18 and 19, and we're worried that he's gonna threaten Josh in signing. Like, fuck, get the hell out of here. Like fucking
yeah, but to be clear, like I'm not saying that he's as good as Josh or anywhere near as good
he
as
ain't as
Josh,
good
right?
as anybody on this team, dude. I mean, like, what's Bolden's stats? I mean, Bolden probably smokes him. What's Amir's stats? I mean, all I'm saying is this dude. All at the end of the day, he could be a good depth piece because of the traits that he has over the years. I just said it, dude. He's 31 years old. He's been in the league for 9 years. He's average on run versus pass. This means 9 run, 9 fucking pass, just so everybody understands math. In a 16-game season, he's gotten it 19 times. 19 fucking times. There are halfbacks that get 19 carries in a game. One fucking game. Probably before the halftime. Take it for whatever the hell you guys want to take it for. Like, I mean, he fucking grabbed it just like I said with Zeus last year. Just like I said with Zeus last year, he had 17 carries for fucking 60 yards or 70 yards, 60 yards, I think. Long story short, through the whole season. Now, just put that out there and then put his name as fucking Williams. There you go. Williams, fucking here you go. Zamir year 1, Williams fucking his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, whatever the cause and effect is, I mean, if it's always been, Josh Jacobs' plan to sign at the end of training camp, anyhow, I mean, mission accomplished. Anyhow, whether it's because of Damian Williams or not, I think getting Jacobs back into the locker room for the price that this team wants, everyone will be happy, and we'll be able to finally focus on life after this contract holdout. So at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, whatever the cause and effect is, the goal is that Josh Jacobs, ideally becomes a member of this team for the right price. So, well, I guess we'll just have to see how it plays out as training camp progresses. Ray, was there anything you wanted to add to this topic, being that it is your topic after all?
I mean, I think you guys kind of like nailed what I was gonna kind of try to say is like, like the whole thing is like I believe that they signed Williams just for the fans to see, like, I don't know, maybe just to throw some tension with the fans or something. But I mean, like, I think it's like what Dustin pointed out, saying like that Jacobs will most likely come back before week 1 or something, or sign that tag or whatever. Honestly, it's all up in the air, to be honest. But like honestly though, I think they just signed Williams as like a, just somebody to just be there in the depth chart if worst case scenario Jacobs doesn't come. Just saying like that. So they don't want fans to panic and be like, oh, look at Zamir White. He wasn't that good year 1. Now we have no running back. Josh Jacobs is not going to play. And like, even though he might not be the best option, like I guess like it might just like simmer the fans unless we just it honestly just comes down to week 1. He shows up, he doesn't show up. So
right.
Yeah, well, this guy's gonna show up on the bench, like fucking serving Gatorades to his team, going hurrah! Like that's what he's gonna fucking do. Like listen. If there's any motherfucking guy on this panel that thinks this motherfucker gonna show up on this bitch and just go out and run yards. He's been in the league for 9 motherfucking years. He ain't done it in 9 years. He sure in the fuck ain't doing it in the 9th year.
But I think what these folks are saying. But I think what these folks are saying doesn't.
I don't give a fuck what they're saying. I can give a fucking care less what they're saying. I can fucking care less. Like that. I can care fucking less.
just a second. Like symbolically signing a guy like Damian
I can
Williams, right, is showing.
fucking...
Check this out. So, what's one of the sayings that we like saying here on this panel? I've heard it multiple times. You prepare for the worst, hope for the best, right? So, signing another player, even though he may not add a substantial amount of value or even a moderate amount of value, you're adding a player to prepare your team in the event that Josh doesn't sign.
Hey, watch
We
the
all
next guy
expect
we
Josh to
sign. We
sign.
cut him. Salute, Jason.
We're all hoping and we're all expecting Josh to sign by the time the season actually formally begins. But you have to prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and I think that's what this signing is. Like, that's basically what it is. Nothing more, nothing less.
I'm just gonna piggyback off what you guys are saying. And if, Jeff, I don't know if you have access, but if you can just bring up that thing for a minute.
Oh yeah. I was wondering what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a depth chart thing I put out yesterday. This is on the off chance that Jacobs doesn't sign, right? So keep that in mind. That's why you don't see him on there, because technically Jacobs is not on the team until he signs. So right now, if you look at their Raiders depth chart, he's not on there because he hasn't signed yet, right?
Right.
So this is probably what it will be if Jacobs doesn't sign. And this was also before the Damian Williams signing happened. I literally put this out just before the signing. So that being said, the only guys that Damian Williams is competing with on that depth chart right there is probably Brandon Bolden and Brendan Brown. So even if Damian Williams by some chance makes the team, if you look at Brandon Bolden's numbers, I'd say Damian Williams' numbers are similar to Brandon Bolden's over his career. If you look at Brandon Bolden's numbers, like Brandon Bolden is a pretty he's been in the league a long time as well. So if you look at his numbers and compare his numbers to Damian Williams, they're pretty much similar, except for Williams is probably a couple of years younger, around the same age. So there's that possibility if they feel like he can. Sorry, man. Sorry, guys. Excuse me for a sec.
Is that you? Okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I mean, I will say, first of all, as far as Damian Williams specifically is concerned, one metric that might be worth considering is that career all time he has a yards per carry of 4.2, which obviously isn't great, but it's decent. So obviously we're dealing with a small sample size because, like I said, he's only had one year of his career where he's gotten at least 100 attempts on the ground.
5 years ago, like 5 fucking years ago.
Right, and it was 2019. But what I'm saying is that obviously because we have this depth chart up and we're talking about how the pecking order might shake out. I would say that it's possible that the team could take a chance on him even beyond training camp into the season, even if Josh Jacobs does become a part of this team. So, I mean, it's possible that, he could have more value, or the team could perceive him to have more value than just a chess piece in the Josh Jacobs contract holdout, game, if you will. So there's that. But I would also say, to Ray's point about it just comes down to whether or not Jacobs signs by week 1. Well, I would say that's not necessarily the case, just because, the franchise tag deadline before Jacobs would surrender the season completely doesn't happen until several weeks into the season. So, it's possible that this team could figure out, as you guys have mentioned, a running back by committee approach. Maybe some guy really begins to catch fire. And maybe that's Zamir White. Like, Zamir White is obviously a guy that, is obviously a part of this equation that we haven't really talked about. And I mean, I myself am sort of on the fence about him. I wasn't wild about his performance last year, albeit that was a small amount of volume that he got. Another factor is Britton Brown. I mean, he could come out and
he's been showing up. He showed up right here in this Niners fucking deal 2 days in a row, been busting dudes' ass. Dude fucking taking them down to the fucking house and got a touchdown in there, dude. Like, Zeus, obviously, for one, like I said, I'll probably end up eating my fucking words on him, but again, he most definitely is over there, and he's doing that against a good defense and them fucking Niners. So, like I said, I've spoke on it numerous times about Josh McDaniel's system, dude. He's been doing this for fucking 20 years, and he's been doing it without Josh Jacobs the whole entire time, dude. He's won fucking 6 fucking Super Bowls, 5 play calling them. He's built the team that he calls the offense. I mean, I keep saying this over and over and over and over that he didn't need Josh then and he don't need Josh now. Josh is just an added plus, dude. That's all it is, dude. He'll take Zamir and go fucking turn him into the next fucking dude. And then in 5 years from now, when Zamir is looking to get his fucking contract, they'll trade or let that fucker go too, and they'll do it again because that's what they've been doing the whole fucking time. You know, like, that's the whole thing, dude. I mean, we literally got in a debate here one day. I was sitting here saying that I thought, oh, the receivers have a good success in Josh's system, and got proven wrong in that fucking deal. Went over there, looked it up. It was slots, receivers, tight ends, and halfbacks, dude. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, they're not worried about Josh, dude. And this guy ain't worried about this guy. Like I said, this guy is a mere Adula type player, dude, where he's going to grab the ball a few times a year. Fucking, could he still receive and can he run the same way he did? The odds are he's probably slowed down. He's fucking 31 years old, dude. He's an older guy. Again, like I said, to even start this whole entire topic, that he's probably competing against the likes of Bolden and motherfucking Amir. If he makes the team, great. Pull up the handicap fucking sign in the fucking chair and take a fucking seat. I don't think anybody really cares, just like nobody cares if Bolden's here or Amir's here. You know what I mean? Like, we're more focused on is Zeus or fucking Sincere going to run it or Britain, you know? Like, which younger guy is Josh going to wait till the last second and sign on the fucking team? Like, that's everybody's last hope, dude. Like, that's exactly what it is. Yep. Is Josh going to get more money? He can't get fucking more money. He can't get more years. All he can get is one fucking year and either get 10 or 12 million because he already turned down 12 million. What do you think Ziegler's going to do? Like, I've said, I'll fucking go over there. And if I was Ziegler and Josh showed up, I would be like, hey, 10.09, motherfucker. I offered you 12. You told me no. Sign for 10.9 or don't fucking play. Don't care. You see what I'm saying?
So check this out. So Dustin, along those lines, what I was going to say is the name on the back of the jersey in this system and the Josh McDaniel system, the name on the back of the jersey doesn't necessarily matter too much for this reason, right? So last year, JJ, he had over 1,600 rushing yards, right? Over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. It doesn't matter if you could get the same production from 3-4 guys, as long as you get the same production or probably exceed the production. So the name on the back of the jersey doesn't necessarily matter if at the end of the day, I'm going to get the same production, right? Like, and I think that's like what we have to keep in mind when we're analyzing the moves that Josh and Ziegler are making. It's a system-based scheme, effectively. And they're going to plug and play players.
People have to keep in mind, too, this guy was out of the system for a whole fucking year for some reason, obviously. So something must have happened or he sucked that bad. Like, something must have went on because, like I said, if I looked up last year, if I recall, I remember it was like only one. It was fucking minimal snaps, dude. Like, he didn't have very many. So that's all I'm saying. Like, something must have happened in Atlanta, and then Atlanta didn't even try to re-sign him, and then he ends up over here. So, like I say, I don't know this guy's story, but I just know there's got to be a reason.
Yeah, he had 2 snaps in Atlanta, literally 2 snaps.
Yeah, and then we're over here talking about, like, this is a dude that was a high-level player at one point in his career, or probably multiple years, and then we're like, yeah, he's gonna come here and do this. Like, I don't know if people understand this. Like, he has 1,300 yards in 9 years. 9 motherfucking years. Like, it just in my head, if he did 9 by 100 is 900. So 100 yards. You see, that's like 130 yards, 40 yards a year.
Look at Brandon Bolden, because Brandon Bolden is the same deal, man. He's only got 1,363. That's why I said he's a possible Brandon Bolden replacement. That's all he is.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, you better know the system better than Brandon does, and Brandon.
Yeah, that's the only thing Brandon has better than him is knowing the system. But as far as
Yeah,
like
I
their
mean that's
attempts,
a
their
huge,
yards,
massive, and his
everything else is pretty
contract,
much the same. Everything else
and
is
his
pretty much the same
contract.
like stat wise. Everything else is pretty
I
much the
think
same stat
I
wise.
think Brandon's Brandon has a. I think Brandon's contract's gonna keep him here too.
Possibility misses an out, but like I was saying, they're pretty much the same kind of player. Like him and Brandon Bolden are the same kind of player.
Yeah, I get that, dude. But I think when you look at when you're looking at Brandon and you're looking at Williams, at the end of the day, when you have fucking Zamir and or you have Ziegler and Josh at the table, they're gonna say Bolden been with us the whole time. Williams hasn't been here, so Williams better show up massively. Like Williams better show up here and fucking go get like 4 touchdowns, or you better do something massively to overdo Bolden.
I do think though.
So Dustin,
I do think that there is like a point though. So you have Brandon Bolden, right, who probably knows the system inside and out. The dude could probably go up there and fucking coordinate the offense, possibly, because he's been in the system, years and years. But I think there is a point in every player's career, right, where father time is undefeated. Dude knows the system inside and out, X's and O's. But at some point, you can't fucking run. But
I'll argue that the Niner game, multiple games last year when he came in,
I'll do one better because
I would disagree on that.
Bolden's been in the 1 year longer than Williams, but Williams has better numbers than him in 9 than Bolden does in 10. So actually Williams, if you look at like the overall career yards, like career receiving yards, career rushing yards, Williams has more than him in 9 years and than Bolden has in 10. So outside of knowing the system, that's probably the only thing that Bolden would have over Williams at the moment is knowing the system.
What are their respective yards per carry?
All right, if you look at career-wise, if you look at Bolden career-wise,
4.2 and 7.9 for rush and pass.
If you look at career-wise, you have Bolden has 300 attempts for 1,363 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns, like total, right, for his career. Williams has 336 with 1,397, 14 touchdowns total. So it's very similar in the rushing. Then if you go to receive, and that's in 9 years though, instead of 10, right? So that's the difference as well. Then if you go to the receiving side of things, Bolden has, he has 109 receptions for 959 yards, 8.8 yard average, 7 receiving touchdowns, and a 74.1 catch percentage. If you go over to Williams has 154 for 1,209 yards receiving, 7.9 average, 11 touchdowns receiving, and a 77.4% catch percentage. So his catch percentage is actually higher in less time, and then he has more touchdowns receiving than Bolden does, but Bolden's yards per average is a bit higher. That's about it. So like I said, to me, Dane Williams is a possible Bolden replacement. It just depends how fast you can pick up the system, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. I mean, anything's possible.
How old is Bolden now?
Bolden's got to be older than Williams. He could be like 33, 34.
Shit, that's ancient for running back, dude. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Ancient.
That's why I'm saying, like, they might be looking for possibly moving on from Bolden this year. Keep him in and get rid of Bolden.
Father time is undefeated, dude. Fuck, them knees are buckled.
If Williams can outshine Bolden in camp,
how many times did we should just move off this conversation because I think it's just a garbage conversation to begin with. I mean, how many times did Bolden get the ball last year? How many times did he carry the ball? Like fucking 5, 10.
He only played in one game.
Yeah, my point, dude. We're like sitting here wasting fucking an hour conversation on this fucking dude. When he ain't played in a fucking year, he ain't done fucking nothing, and he ain't gonna fucking do anything for this team. Now, if he fucking plays one game and gets the ball 4 fucking times throughout the year, kudos to fucking him. Like
Baldwin didn't
that's
do
the
that
whole
much either.
thing.
He had 9 targets and 17 carries last year. Like
That's my
not that
point.
much.
That's my point. We're like this conversation should have been like a 2 fucking minute conversation. Hey, they signed them. Oh, look, this fucking garbage. We speak an hour on a dude that didn't even play last year. Like
What I'm
that's the
saying
whole
is
thing. Like,
Baldwin
he's
didn't
not
really
even
play
gonna
much last
matter.
year
This
either.
guy don't even fucking matter.
That's my point. They're probably going to move on from Baldwin. He didn't do that much last year. He had like 17 carries, like 60 yards, and like 9
I mean,
receptions.
fuck, nobody did anything last year. I mean, let's be real. Josh carried the ball. Josh
Yeah, I
carried the
thought
ball
Jackson.
340 times. I mean, Derek Carr had the second most rushes in our team, man.
Josh didn't want to relinquish the ball. He wanted the ball.
All right, we need to relinquish this conversation, so let's move on.
See what we did there. Yeah, so I mean, on a final note, I think what we can all agree on is that obviously the
They
Raiders
hired
have
him.
a pretty
They
good
hired the
running back group.
motherfucker. Like that's.
So with that, let's segue into our next topic. Why don't we just go around the panel and talk about the joint practice with the 49ers, obviously, which today was the second part of, and will obviously served as a preview of sorts for what's to come with the Raiders preseason first week 1 preseason matchup against the 49ers this Sunday. So Al's Ghost, would you like to start us off on your thoughts on or any kind of news you heard coming out of the joint practice, or your thoughts from what you heard, or moving forward, how you feel guys might be able to capitalize off of the progress that they made in the joint practice yesterday or today?
Yeah, so lots of encouraging things, right, from the joint practice with the Santa Clara 49ers. Really enjoyed, reading about like the defense, how they're doing, especially, Max Crosby in the secondary, Spillane getting multiple picks. It seems like our secondary was really active overall. And if it's something that we need, if there's something that this team needs, it's more possessions, right? So taking the ball, stripping it, intercepting it, I think those are encouraging signs. Obviously, it's just a joint practice. It's not an actual game, but this is the kind of stuff that you like to see. And for me, one of the critical stats when analyzing any football game, I look at the turnover differential. Usually that's going to tell you, I think the stat is like 90-95% of the time, whichever team wins the turnover differential is typically going to win the football game. And so if we're able to, replicate the kind of performance that the defense had in the joint practice with the 49ers in actual games this upcoming season, I'm encouraged. Marcus Peters was apparently showing out as well. Duke Shelley, Marcus Epps, all these guys had interceptions against a very good 49ers team that made a very deep playoff run last year. So these guys are definitely no slouches. So I was definitely encouraged. Overall, I think Spillane definitely stood out a lot. Just reading some of the reports on Twitter, what was being said, some of the other reports from the sideline reporters at the practices, and Marcus Peters was apparently doing stuff that Marcus Peters was doing back in 2015, 2016, which means, intercepting the ball and getting more possessions for the offense. So I was super happy about all the reports that I was hearing.
Just to piggyback, I'll just ask you a question now. What position was Spillane at? Was he at outside linebacker or middle?
Seemed like he was a middle.
So they put him back at middle because last time I looked on the depth chart, they had him listed as outside linebacker.
And he got 2 picks.
Yeah, he got 2 picks, which is crazy.
That's good.
Epps had an interception. Spillane had an interception. Masterson had an interception.
Duke
so
Shelley.
What did it say? Epps Spillane picked off Purdy. Masterson picked off the Darnold, and Shelley picked off Lance.
What about Diablo? Was he out there?
They had eight interceptions. I mean, the defense for the Raiders is obviously real shit, bro. Like, motherfuckers show up over there. No, Spillane didn't get 3 picks, dude. Go listen to his press conference. He said that when the reporter asked him, he said only 2.
Yeah, he got 2.
Spillane only got 2.
Reported that he got.
Oh, the third was dropped.
Yeah, initially it was reported that he got 3, but officially he ended up getting
The
2.
reporter reported 3, and then he got asked in the interview, and then it came to 2.
Yeah,
But that's that's why I'm saying that's
So,
pretty good. That's pretty good when you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Peters. So you're getting 5 players with 8 interceptions. We couldn't get fucking that many picks if our life depended
we
on
couldn't
it
get
in
that
the
many
last
picks in 17 fucking games last year.
in the last few years.
Yeah. So we couldn't get that many 17 fucking games, not only one. But anyway, I was gonna ask any news on Diablo.
I didn't see any notes in terms of like how well he did, honestly, and I was keeping an eye out for that. I did see some notes about our defensive line doing really, really well on one-on-one drills. So Bilal Nichols, Silvera, Farrell Jr., Byron Young, John Jenkins, they all did really well in the
Yeah, that's what
one-on-one
I was
drills.
saying. Sergio. Yeah, 6 the whole season.
So super encouraging there. But in terms of Diablo, I didn't really see anything. I'm assuming he did okay, but not excellent because I didn't see any reports.
Yeah, well, that means Spillane, because I feel like him and Spillane are competing for that middle linebacker spot. I mean, I did have Diablo listed in as the number 1 dude before an unofficial depth chart. And then they had Spillane starting outside linebacker.
I mean, let's be real. He got 2 interceptions between 2 of our linebackers.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm just curious to know who's going to win that true Mike linebacker or that middle linebacker role, whether it's going to be Spillane or Diablo.
Yeah, and then they were saying reports like Neil Farrell dominated Niners starting right guard Spencer Bradford one-on-one, showed him speed to a counter spin move, another strong sign from a young interior D line from LSU. I mean, they got dudes showing up all over the place. They said Adam Butler coming in with his fucking spin move to get through the backfield. Max Crosby just fucking minimizing dudes all day. Isaiah Rochelle, dude, they said that dude was putting on some work over there today, like just putting work in there. Then you're talking, they said all the quarterbacks did really good in the camp. Fucking Jacoby Myers popped up. Marcus Peters was on fire, and Robert Spillane was on fire. I mean, if you're sitting here thinking about 1 year later, dude, I mean, we're over here fucking, yeah, you're right, Stats. They said Nesta brings that Oxman strength at the POA, literally walking back Niners interior offensive line 3 to 5 yards into the pocket. Fucking guy just bullying motherfuckers, bro.
I've already penciled Severa in as my last D tackle on my depth chart.
Yeah, just straight bullying motherfuckers.
I'm like, yep, I'll put him in at the 50 spot.
So guys, I don't know if you guys heard of. I'm sure you guys know of like Ted Nguyen. He used to follow the Raiders, like cover the Raiders, do like X's and O's. He now does a bunch of work for the Athletic, and he wrote that apparently like the Raiders were looking like the 85 Bears out there on defense.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, their shit's popping up all over the place, man.
Their shit was wild.
Speaking of the Bears, though, like just Chicago, you gotta remember we've got Champ Kelly as assistant GM here. He helped build that defense that Mac went to.
Yeah, and I think that guy's actually, I would love to learn more about that guy just generally because he has like a really interesting career path. Did you guys know that he was actually a computer engineer for like IBM before he actually pivoted over to football? Dude's like super smart, like genius level.
Yeah, he's genius level smart. He was an computer engineer, and then he went over to Chicago and became like their fucking like a scout and personnel guy.
Yeah, he became a scout. He like switched his computer engineering career and then dedicated himself to football.
Yeah, so that guy's gonna be as analytical as fuck when it comes to evaluating players. I'm telling you that right now. Like
straight numbers, yeah.
Yeah, like Ziegler. Ziegler's the same way. He's an analytical, methodical motherfucker, and I know that because I'm like that too. Like I have ADHD.
Cold-hearted on
Steelers beat the Bucks, man, 27-17. The Falcons beat Miami.
Falcons beat Miami? That is preseason.
Yeah. I don't like it that much in the preseason because, look, we went undefeated. And
I was about to say the same shit.
Yeah, I want to be looking at it too fucking hard.
the joint practice is probably a better assessment than preseason if you think about it, because even in joint practice, they still got some starters out there.
Hey, that dude's going at it in practice, dude. Fucking even when dude picked off fucking Jimmy, dude, and who did he pick off? Devontae, I think, dude, turned around, fucking threw the ball at him, dude, like he is a little fucking bitch, you know. So they got some shit going on. They got some shit going down in that camp. So, like I said, he ain't gonna get.
I'm going to say it now. It's probably a bit premature, but I'm saying it now. I'm going to have Peters as my number 1 corner, Jacoinen as my number 2 on the outside. People can call me crazy, but we'll see.
Kentucky gave him a scholarship as both a wide receiver and DB. I mean, Kelly knows his shit, man. I mean, I think our whole office knows their shit, dude. Like, I think they got a really good office up there right now.
Yeah, there you go. And like I was saying before, both Kelly and Ziegler, they're both ex-pro scouts, ex-personnel executives. Fucking Kelly helped build that Chicago defense back in the day that John Gruden traded Khalil Mack to. So there was hype around the league about that defense back in 2018. That was when the same defense Bilal Nichols was a DT out too. So we brought him over here, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, so I hate to play devil's advocate, but the fact that the Raiders defense was able to get so many interceptions, which honestly still seems like a pretty unbelievable number, that it could just be proven that the quarterback depth chart for the 49ers is not that good, which obviously we're not really worried about either way about their struggles or lack thereof, but I guess for their sake, if Brock Purdy is to be relieved, there has to be at some point this season. Maybe the likes of Trey Lance and Sam Darnold may not be up to the task, but I still think it's a very positive takeaway, simply given that not only did the defense as a whole apparently do pretty darn well, so many different individual contributors apparently were having standout performances, which for a defense, especially not only last year but over the past several years, hasn't exactly been the best. I think we should take any kind of improvement as a good sign. Obviously as a team that's retooled its roster almost completely, almost complete overhaul of the personnel, for them to be gelling and to be performing this well, especially guys like Marcus Peters, who was just signed, didn't participate in OTAs with the team. For him to be performing as I mentioned, like 2015 Marcus Peters, I really think that's something to take note of. I personally, I hate to say it, I'm still kind of worried about his health throughout the season. If he can stay on the field, I think this is a good indicator of what's to come. Obviously,
we can't just act like Purdy ain't don't know what he's doing either. He played in like what eight games last year. He had fucking not maybe one or a few interceptions, if any. Like he most definitely knows what he's doing at the quarterback position. So if he's over there throwing them, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to say he's the greatest quarterback or this, that, the other, but he went out there and played good games. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm not going to take away from that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, and as we talked about before, because obviously Jimmy G himself, he has been having issues with interceptions in training camp early. It's not either way, and it's not something to be concerned or very excited about, just because it's only training camp. So we have to take all this with a grain of salt. But like I said, I think this is certainly a definite takeaway from what we heard coming out of this joint practice, especially today. Was that I think this defense might be building up some kind of confidence, and this isn't just the main guys. Apparently even the likes of Luke Masterson, who might be on the outside looking in, as far as some kind of position on this team on the depth chart. You know, the fact that all kinds of guys, all hands on deck sort of performance, apparently went on, especially from this defense. Excuse me, today. It could indicate that there's something very positive building within this defensive unit as a whole, which is, like I said, the confidence. Um, Perhaps the chemistry is clicking at a very early stage, which is obvious, which could potentially, be a very good sign for this defense. So, like I said, I mean, I think we do have to take the attitude of we're a defense for which there isn't a lot of expectations because, like I said, not only of the history of this team on defense over the past several years, but the fact that the defense, this entire team, defense included, has been retooled so greatly. For them to come together and turn out a positive performance today, I think is definitely a very good sign early on, and hopefully they can continue the momentum into their preseason game this week because obviously the lights are a little bit brighter. It's still not a meaningful game per se, but it's for guys trying to make the team and trying to maybe jockey for a position on the depth chart. It is still going to matter a lot. So hopefully, like I said, they can continue this momentum into the preseason as well as through the rest of training camp and hopefully into the regular season. Was there anything else that anybody wanted to add to this topic?
I think we're good, but I don't know if you want to segue into the other topic that I gave Dustin last night about Cole Fotheringham. Since we're talking about young players in preseason.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Let's start on that one.
Yeah, so the reason I brought this topic up is because I was just like looking at our depth chart behind Mayer and Hooper because obviously we released Howard. So I was just looking at the guys who got left, which is like Jacob Hollister, Cole Fotheringham, Jasper Horsted, etc. And then I'm like, okay, let me go look and reevaluate this guy's like college shape out of Utah. And then I'm like, holy fuck, I think this guy could really compete for that third tight end spot because when you look at the way he plays, him and Michael Mayer, even though Michael Mayer is obviously like more talented like prospect, him and Michael Mayer are very similar style of play in the sense that they can both block and they can both receive. And with Cole Fotheringham already having a year in the system on the practice squad last year, learning the playbook, learning the drills, whatever. So he's already had a year in the system now. So this is a guy I'm really going to keep an eye on in preseason. The next I'm up against the 49ers. This dude was literally blocking guys into the fucking end zone for his running back in college, like running them into the fucking dirt, bro. Like moving them like 3-4 yards from the line of scrimmage, like driving them into the ground. Same thing Mayer can kind of do in the blocking game. And then not only that, but this guy was mossing dudes. Like, he was up there fucking full vertical stretch, like fucking mossing dudes in the end zone for touchdowns, like just mossing them.
We should bring up his highlight reel.
Yeah, because I sent it to you last night. That I was like, what the fuck?
Bring up his highlight reel, throw it on. I mean, fucking, we can watch it real quick.
Yeah, if you put it on silent, we can do it, can't we?
We can watch it either if it's on silent or not. It doesn't matter.
All right, hopefully they don't fuck up the live. Hang on a minute. I'll see if I can share it. Maybe that'll work.
I want to know more on the dude anyways. I haven't seen much or checked much into him, to be honest. So
yeah, I was like kind of rooting for him, but when I actually took like a deeper dive,
it's like I said, Horse said he hasn't done shit yet, dude, for the Raiders.
Yeah, he hasn't done shit. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And his blocking ain't fucking. I mean, he did have a good blocking deal, but his receiving everything, like he's never done anything for us yet. So
I agree. Just a minute. I'll just share my screen. Hang on a second. But yeah, this dude, I feel like this dude could be tight end 3 for sure. It's quite possible. Are you guys getting that now on your side? In the share screen?
Yep.
All right, I'll press back. I'll just turn the sound off because I think that's what other people do on their shows.
That's him?
What's this block here? It just drives Yeah, that's him driving that dude in the corner of the end zone there. He just fucking drives him. Fucking washes him into drives him in the dirt.
That's the tight end?
That's the tight end, bro. He looks like a fucking lineman out there, bro.
He looks like a fucking
That's the
halfback,
tight end.
dude. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dude's big, man. And no, I feel like if him and Ray are together, they just fully mossed the dude, man.
Hold on, is that him?
Yeah, that's him, bro. Fucking
Okay,
full hurdle over a guy.
Okay.
Full fucking hurdle over a dude, bro. Like this guy is for his size, he's athletic as fuck for his size. Like I'm like,
I thought we were talking about the halfback at first.
nah,
and then I'm
man, like
oh.
tight end, bro. This fully leaps over, bro. Like,
Yeah, this guy got some. Yeah, he got some mad skill over here.
so this is a guy I'm gonna keep very close eye on. And then yeah, watch this block off the edge here. Like you see him block the dude, like he'll come around. Number 89. There's him just up the top there, like pushing that guy in the back there. Forward. The one with the number 8 on his back. It's fully fucking 89. There he is. Fully fucking bars the guy on the ground again. So you can tell this guy can block, bro. Not many tight ends can block like this come out of the college, I must admit. And I think that's something that Josh McDaniels is going to favor. He wants tight ends that can block.
Yeah, he's got a good little guy right here.
The other thing I like about this guy is he always pushes for extra yards if you watch him. That one's a bit of an easy one. But anyway, if you watch him, like when he gets tackled, it usually takes like a couple guys to get him down a lot of the time. Like he always pushed for an extra yard or two.
He does fall forward, Jason, almost every time, dude. He just lays out there.
See how
he just lays because he knows he got his. He knows he has his height and the weight.
Yeah, exactly. He knows how to use his weight and stuff. See,
Look, every time.
Yeah, and that's what I like to see. Guys are gonna fight for yards. Especially that last one just before this one where it was like third, first in a couple of seasons in certain tight ends statistics. So I can see why they picked this guy up. I can't believe we got him as a UDFA though. It's just one of those guys that must have fallen under the radar because he's out of Utah, which is like a smaller school, I guess. Kind of like Sincere in a way, like coming from a smaller school.
You said, guys, we might have created a monster. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you're gonna have Mayor, him, and freaking.
I mean, him as a third tight end, bro. Like, can't complain when you got Hooper and Mayers 1 and 2, then this guy is your third. Like they can both, yeah. Like I said, him and Mayer. Like I can.
And he's got a pretty big highlight reel, obviously.
Yeah, man, it's like pretty decent though. Anyway, that was it. But yeah, like I said, just stop that. Like I said, so just something else I was watching. Sorry guys, just a minute. Let's stop sharing. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Stop screen. So yeah, like I said, that guy to me could be a possibility for the tight end 3. I think he can be that.
Utah Pac-12.
I don't think Horse is going to be like that.
Utah Pac-12.
Oh, so that's still decent. Then if he's in the Pac-12, that's still a decent conference. Because I gotta be honest, I'm not as good when it comes to knowing like all the college teams and stuff, like the conferences and that.
I like the value.
Yeah, if he's Pac-12, that's still decent. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Like they're picking up guys like UDFAs, like guys that people have overlooked, and they obviously got some skill. Like this guy can't, like he's still got to prove it, but I think he's a guy that you got Priscilla can help him with the blocking even more. Then you got guys like Cooper there, who ex-Pro Bowl tight ends, can teach him more on the route running and that in the NFL. And you got Mayer there too, who's like a stud out of Notre Dame, like who he can probably pick his brain for stuff as well, coming from Notre Dame, being one of the best tight ends in the nation last year. So I think a guy like this playing as like the third guy in the tight end room is a perfect spot for him to develop. And I think that if say like 2-3 years from now, it could be like the Mayer and Fotheringham show. It could be the next fucking Gronk and Hernandez fucking show, if you get what I'm saying.
Hey, that could be, man. That could be.
I know it's a
Ray,
big,
what do you think? Ray, do you want to chime in on this or what?
Which one's gonna murder somebody execution style in this? We're talking about
Ray,
tasteless.
motherfucker.
Yo.
You want to say something on this topic or what? Are you on your game? Fucking Rainbow Six Siege or what?
What the fuck? Who be on Siege?
This guy right here. He's on NBA 2K probably.
Nah. I was on the phone with somebody. My bad.
Do you want to add to this conversation or what?
We'll talk about Cole Fotheringham possibly being the third tight end.
I'm sorry, your mic cut out. What happened?
We were saying that maybe Cole Fotheringham could be the third tight end.
Oh.
I'm continuing like Horsted and that, because Horsted hasn't really done shit. And if you look at this guy's college film and the fact that he was a UDFA for the team last year and he's only been a year in the system, it could be. And his block may be better than Horsted. So,
I mean, I don't really know too much about him, but like off the top of what you're saying, I'd say like, if we have somebody that's like very versatile, like, I mean, even though Mayer, you guys say like Mayer is like the key guy for sure. And then like Cooper's a pretty good blocker. You said this guy's a good blocker as well?
Yeah, he's a good blocker as well. If you look at his blocking, he's literally driving guys into the ground, kind of like Mayer.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something we need because like even like last season, like with Waller Morrow kind of filled the spot, but it's like Waller wasn't a true run blocker, or I mean they really had to really rely on Morrow or Horsted, which to me.
Just to give you an idea, like Cole Fotheringham, and he came out of Utah, so I guess it's a smaller school, I guess, but he was blocking guys, like running guys into the end zone for his running back and stuff like that. Like,
what's his stats for receiving?
What team did he play for?
Utah.
What's his receiving stats and shit?
Just let me bring it up for you guys. Just a minute.
I have.
Was he the tight end one in Utah?
What did you say, Jeff?
He was the tight end one in Utah, I think.
I'm looking at 15 receptions for 128 yards.
That's what he has?
Career?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on,
15 receptions for.
Maybe more than that. Maybe more than that.
If maybe that's those stats, I'd probably just keep him as like
maybe
run personnel.
Damn, I look like he had more than 15 catches in that whole fucking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's probably looking at his. That might be.
Are you sure it's the real right one, Josh?
Yeah, let me find it. Hang on.
Because man, I was about to say that dude's just gonna be sitting there blocking shit.
So in 2021, he had 15 receptions for 128 yards. He only had touchdowns in 2018 and 2019. So those highlights that you pulled up, that touchdown must have been from either 2018 or 2019. So, I mean, so
he only has 128 yards his whole career?
No, he has 526, but that's over 4 years.
Yeah, that sounds way more like it. I was sitting there thinking, like, there's no fucking way. There was 20 receptions in that fucking deal, and they weren't.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, be around.
So what was it? You said 4 years, 5 what?
526 yards. It's not a lot.
Yeah, I knew it was close to 600 when I looked at it. He's a red zone.
How many touchdowns?
3.
What would it be?
Because they had that use in Utah. He was used mostly as a run blocker.
125, so it's 100 and. What would it be? 107 yards per year. Is all he got?
Probably something like that. Looking at these numbers, I mean,
if he has 526 in 4 years, it'd be around 107 because it'd be or my bad, it would be
like
432, 132.
Yeah.
132 yards per year.
I mean, look, to me, the most attractive thing about this guy is that he's 6'4", 243. So he is a big target. As far as I understand, he doesn't have a lot of speed. He's
what's his catch? His receiving percentage. His catch percentage.
Like,
what's his catch percentage?
Like catch receptions per target?
No, like him catching, like his physical catch. Is he like 59%, 52%? What do they say? Catch rate? Fucking. I can hear them little kids just laughing their ass off over there. I think it's real funny when little kids laugh. Opens up that run lane. I mean, that's facts, bro. I mean, he'll fucking probably knock dudes on their ass, man. It's like if he has a high, well, we know he doesn't have a red zone percentage, but if he has a high catch percentage, then you can probably use him in the red zone.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking too. Because I knew he hadn't done that much because he was more like a run blocker for Utah. Like they brought him in on running plays.
Yeah, but guys like him can be dangerous because he can block you, dude, and then get off your block for a reception. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Kind of like when we used to sneak Moreau out for one or something like that in the red zone.
Yeah, that's where guys like him can be dangerous. I would just say like
that's what I said. Tight end 3. I'm not saying
if you're looking at his like career stats, usually it'll be like it usually says like receptions, yardage, touchdowns, then it'll say like catch percentage, things like that. You know what I mean? So
because when they did like in that highlight there, when they did target him for a reception, it's not like you can't catch it.
He said he had that grab where he went up. He can definitely develop that threat. That's facts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can develop his route running and develop his running routes and being a receiving tight end. But he's already got the talent to block, I think. That's how I see it. And that's why I'm saying playing behind a guy like Cooper and a guy like Mayer and letting him develop for the next couple of years and being like that, bring him in to help block in the running game. I think that would be a great asset.
Yeah, I mean, and this is just his NFL Draft Buzz profile. So this is from 2021. So this is a little dated, but
we brought him in 22, so that's why. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, that was his senior year. Yeah. 2020 was a senior year, but he's a savvy, reliable pass catcher with good body control and focus, soft hands, and has the handout throws. Shows good effort as a blocker.
Holy shit!
Was that a fighter jet or something?
Aliens?
No, that was a fucking cargo plane, bro. And this motherfucker is like.
Was he sounded pretty low to the ground?
Dude, he came through here, dude, doing fucking S maneuvers, dude, like fucking like this.
Was he carrying cocaine up there or something?
I have no, dude. I'm telling you, like this motherfucker is straight. Dude. I'm telling you, it's crazy as fuck, bro. He's hella low, bro. I looked up, he was right here, dude, and I'm talking like a fucking cargo plane, bro, like a fucking military cargo plane.
I could hear when he flew over you.
I fucking heard the Vietnam song playing up in there. Fucking, they were playing the fucking Vietnam song. Fucking, you know what?
From Predator 1.
Hey, that one that they play in every war movie and the old ones. Fucking.
Yeah, Fortunate Son. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Predator 1. Predator 1 with Arnie.
Yeah. Great song. Yeah. So, I mean,
So go ahead,
for
Ty.
them,
Hey,
I mean,
can you guys do something? Bring up Horsted stats real quick in college. What was Horsted stats in college?
All right, I'll do that while Jeff, you go ahead and finish that draft buzz thing. I'll look up Horsted.
I mean, yeah. So these are like qualitative kind of things that are based on like, I guess, certain scouts' observations, which I guess some might disagree with. But yeah, I mean, apparently he's like, he's a reliable pass catcher. Shows good effort as a blocker. He possesses one, and some of his weaknesses are he possesses only average straight line speed, and he's a bit stiff as a route runner. So on paper, if we are to believe this draft profile, this is a pretty classic Josh McDaniels kind of tight end. Like, not a guy with like a lot of talent or physical gifts, but he kind of does his job. He tries to play his part in the passing game in the run game as a blocker. Like I said, I mean, to me, if I'm really trying to give this guy the time of day, I mean, the fact that he's 6'4", that's a big target, especially for Jimmy Garoppolo, who likes tight ends, and B, Aiden O'Connell, who's a young rookie quarterback who, if he has to step in, as we know, tight ends are good for young quarterbacks because the route tree is more secure, it's more high percentage of a throw. So maybe a guy like that, if he does make the team, could be integrated into the offense in that manner as a sort of, like I said, I mean, a kind of, work-a-day tight end, if you will. Not too flashy, not going to make Sports Center probably, but, ostensibly could play his part, sort of contribute to the success of the offense. So, and this is just, I mean, I don't think he was drafted. He was at least projected to be a UDFA. Let me double check on that. And I think he was a UDFA of ours last year.
Yeah, we got him in the UDFA class, Cole Fotheringham. He's been on the team for a year now.
Yeah, I remember him in the preseason game against the Patriots last year.
Was he holding Gatorade or?
Well, he was doing some snaps.
Yeah, signed by the Las Vegas Raiders as an undrafted free agent May 12, 2022. He was waived August 30th of last year. Then he was signed to the practice squad. Then he got re-signed this January as a reserve / future free agent. So yeah, I mean he was not drafted. He was passed over.
Can't find Horsted stats.
No, still looking, man.
Didn't he? He scored that touchdown against.
He doesn't have stats in college.
He does somewhere. I'm just trying to find it.
Well, are you looking on College Football Reference?
Look up college.
Yeah, I looked up. I usually use the Sports Reference, the college version of the sport. What do you call it? Pro Reference. But when I type his name, it doesn't come up with anything.
I remember he scored a touchdown against us when that was like the game. That was Gruden's last game. He was with the Bears.
What, Horsted?
Yeah, no, he's not on here. What the fuck?
Yeah. Anyway, he's from Princeton. I finally found it. Fucking hell, 2018. Here we go. NCAA.
Oh, you went to Princeton.
Yeah, that's probably why it's hard to find shit. Because it's got
hey, that dude's like fucking Illuminati and shit. They fucking watch his stats and shit.
So yeah, his career in 2018 was 72 receptions, 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns.
Damn, hold on. What did he have?
In Princeton, he had 72 receptions, 1,052 yards, 13 touchdowns in 2018 at Princeton.
You said 17 touchdowns?
13. 72 receptions, 1,052 yards, and 13 touchdowns in 2018 when his last year of college.
That was how many yards did he have total through his career in college?
Hang on. Let me see if I can go back. Because it's only showing me 2018.
I mean, that's good ass numbers right there.
Yeah, playing Ivy League football.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I don't care. I mean, what would you say about fucking Max? What would we have said then? Fucking playing against fucking high schoolers?
But Max, even Max playing at Eastern Michigan, that's a level above Ivy League football. Those guys are the guys that football players work for when they retire. Not the
Oh, I
ones that
know
play.
that. I get that, but still doesn't mean that they're like, oh, we're Ivy League. We passed for 1,000 yards. You know, like still got to play the game.
Let me see if I can find 2017. Hang on.
I want to see his career stats, dude. I mean,
Yeah, I'm trying to.
72 receptions, 1,052, and 13 touchdowns in 1 year. That's pretty good.
Did you find that on the Princeton University Athletics
Yeah,
website?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's I think that was the one I went to. Yeah. No, ESPN.
I wonder why his
ESPN.
stats aren't public though. Like, why doesn't he have public stats? Like,
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, every player's got to be
kind of
recorded. You would think every player should be recorded. It's not like this guy played in fucking 1950. They probably got Peterman's fucking sorry ass stats over there. So.
Oh, here you go. No, this is.
Can you find 17? I found that was 18, the one I just gave you.
I'm only finding his pro stats.
Yeah, that's
what's his pro stats? Fucking nothing. Like 100 yards.
Some shit like that. He's got.
Is that what it is?
Like, let me see. 3 years.
Probably
he
that.
has. Probably this. Yeah. 3 years. He has. I'll just 13 receptions. This is 3 years, by the way. 2019 to 22 with us last year. Well, last year he had 3 catches, but anyway. So total targets was 17, and out of the total targets of 17 in how many games? 6, 13, 28 games. He's had 17 targets for 13 catches for. Hang on a second. 87, 108. 118, 120 something yards in 28 games and fucking. Oh, hang on, that's advanced. Here it is. Yeah, 127 yards off of 17 catches, and only got 3 touchdowns. That's in 3 years. So, like I said, he hasn't done shit in the pros. That's why I said Cole Fogarty can beat him out, I think. Because he hasn't really done much.
17 receptions or 13 receptions?
Oh, sorry, 13 receptions. My bad. 17 targets, 13 receptions. So, yeah, 17 targets in 3 years for 13 receptions, 127 yards, 9-point yard average, 3 touchdowns.
He could be the Ryan Fitzpatrick of tight ends. But yeah, I mean, I don't mean to say that this, I don't mean to trivialize the position because even being tight end 3, even third on the depth chart, it is important, especially in an offense.
I think blocking is more important than 3, to be honest. Like, if we're talking tight end 3, I was just saying, if we're talking like tight end 3, to me, it's more important in that position at tight end 3 to be a blocker.
Yeah,
because that's a guy that's brought out to block in the run game. That's a guy that's brought out to block extra pass protection in the passing game. So that's why I'm saying Cole Fotheringham to me is probably going to be a better blocker than Jasper Horsted. So I could see him.
What's his grade in college? Did he have a blocking grade in college?
What was that one you had on NFL Buzz a minute ago for Fotheringham? It was pretty. His blocking was decent. His blocking was decent.
Yeah, his blocking, I think it was in like the 66th percentile, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me try to pull it up again.
I think it was on that 66, 70% blocking grade out of 100. So. It's just something interesting to talk about because we're going into preseason. It's just something to keep an eye on. That's just what it was like.
I mean, the battle out between them, dude, I can most definitely see it. And then, like I said, having Sims over there to be versatile on both sides.
Yeah, I've got Sims.
That's plus in there.
Yeah, because I put Sims on my depth chart as like wide receiver 6/tight end 4. Like,
okay, yeah. So his overall rating coming out of college was 59 out of 100. So
But what was his blocking?
QBR.
Yeah.
What?
What was his blocking grade though? Like just his blocking grade.
66%. I guess that
Yeah.
means he's in the.
So the thing that brought the overall grade down probably would have been the fact that he wasn't like a big receiving tight end like some of the other dudes coming out of college. Because a lot of tight ends nowadays coming out of college are like receivers first, blockers second. Whereas I feel like this guy's kind of like the old school tight end where he's more of a blocker than a receiver. Which I think is something McDaniels will like.
And then if we've had him here for a year, he's probably been through weight gaining and shit like that.
Yeah, weight gaining, learning the playbook, etc.
Yeah, I think he has put on a couple of pounds actually.
Yeah, he has from what I've seen of his NFL like current weight profile compared to his college profile.
So
I think he's put on at least 20 pounds or something, I think. 15, 20 pounds.
Yeah. And so out of college, he was the 30th ranked tight end in his draft class. So, like I said,
he's just a third stringer. He ain't nothing more than a Williams at halfback, but at least we're just hoping that maybe he can be something, Well, he's Williams, but just coming in, not going out,
I think that Fotheringham more chance of making a team than Williams does, to be honest.
Oh, hell, I think so, too. I'll agree with that all day long.
But, yeah, like I said, that's why I said tight end 3.
I'd probably bet money on that, too.
Yeah, because that's what I said. It's tight end 3 bet. I'm not talking about tight end 1 or 2. That's already Hooper and Mayer, for sure.
I have a feeling Horstead's going to get it, but I still think it.
Yeah,
I mean, if Horstead in 1 year had 72 receptions, 1,052 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Those are good numbers. I don't give a shit where the hell you're going. Like you're still playing dudes that are playing football. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would like to know what his career. Well, if he got 4,000 career yards, I mean, it fucking matters. You know what I mean? Like that shit fucking matters. If he has 3 1,000-yard seasons, dude, I mean that shit matters. But if he has 1,000-yard and then like a fucking 300-yard, then I could be like, all right, I get it.
Because the other thing is, even when he went to Chicago, like when Chicago drafted him, he was playing receiver at one point, I think, for them, like a big body receiver.
I mean, he hasn't even done anything. Like I said, in the NFL, what would we say? 13 for 127 and 3 touchdowns. I mean, fuck, come on.
Exactly.
These are numbers that are just fucking minimized, and we're talking about in what did you say? 3 years? 3 years he's been here.
Yeah, because if you look at our tight end depth chart right now, after Hooper and Mayer, obviously that 1 and 2. After that, it's kind of like Hollister is the most veteran guy there. Then you got Horstead, then Cole Fotheringham. So I think even Hollister's kind of getting up there in age. And he didn't do that much for us last year. I mean, he was okay at tight end 3 at times, but Hollister wasn't that great.
You know who they said who else did good in today's drills against the Niners? They said that Keelan fucking Cole busted their ass downfield on 2 receptions, and then guess who fucking got a touchdown too? The one dude I said was going to be our kick returner, fucking Carter, dude, bust him for a fucking touchdown.
Yep, I can see that because Carter's a burner too.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. I put him on mine when we first started fucking long time ago, dude. Like, that's why I said I knew Carter was going to be here to be the kick return specialist. I spoke on it right when we signed him, dude, that he was going to be here.
He's wide receiver 4 for me after Renfro. Like, you got.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Keelan Cole. Keelan Cole, I count the dude out, and then fucking here he comes, man. So it's it's probably gonna be between him and Dorsett, dude. And Dorsett went down and fucking did good too.
I actually have Dorsett getting beaten. No, Dorsett. Yeah, Dorsett making the team. Hang on, let me check. I know I have it open.
You had him on your roster. You had him on your roster.
Yeah. I had Dorsett
outside of Henry.
Receiver 5. Yeah, I think.
Or out of Renfro, from Renfro, and then Dorsett, if I can just remember right.
Yeah, it was Renfro then Dorsett. So you got Adams, Jacoby Myers, Renfro, obviously going to be slot receiver. Then you got Philip Dorsett, and then you also got Trey Tucker as the fifth guy, and also Cam Sims as number 6 / tight end 4.
Yeah, and then I'm sitting here thinking like Cole is younger. Dude, if he picks up the system in year 2, Dorsett can be on his way out because
that's
Cole was supposed to do this shit last year. You know what I mean? Yeah, I seen that. I seen that lunatic. I seen that fucking DJ Turner. I was literally gonna bring that up just now. I swear this guy always sometimes will be reading him fucking mind. I was literally gonna say, but yeah, DJ Turner was taking halfback snaps too.
Well, maybe they'll turn him into a Debo Samuel type then.
Hey, I've said, dude, he's the Lim Bowden fucking Joker part player, dude. That's what they've wanted to hear for gadget type player. And he's been sitting back there the whole fucking time. I like DJ Turner a lot, dude. I've literally spoke with him on Instagram a few times. Like, he's a cool ass dude, man. Like, I would like to see him on the team for sure.
I wouldn't mind him making in and over Dorsett. Because if we're keeping Trey Tucker, we don't really need and Carter, we don't really need a Dorsett. We've already got 2 speed guys.
Yeah, but I keep thinking like Cole, man. You can't sleep on Cole, man. Like, I literally put Cole like not even on the team, and now you got to sit and think like Cole can most definitely be on the team.
They might put Cam Sims on the practice squad as one of those protected veteran guys.
Who?
Cam Sims, the one that we said can play wide receiver and tight end.
Yeah.
Just because in case the tight end goes down, you can bring him in. Or if a receiver
goes
down,
I agree. I think
it's a versatility, man.
I've said that from day one, dude.
Yeah, you have, man.
You can use him on both sides, tight end and wide receiver. He'd be such a versatile add to us, man. Like, he'd be a really good add to us. So, I mean, and he's got a good player. Like, I can see him being what Keelan Cole was supposed to be, last year. But I can see him being that dude this year. So, him being on the practice squad, like, maybe people might not even worry about it, because I don't know if we protected Cole. Cole was over there too. So, I don't know how that'll go about. But long story short, the more and more I keep hearing reports on Cole, like I said, he's not going to go unnoticed, dude. I always iterate this every single time I get a conversation with. I have these conversations with people every single time when they're talking about cut players. I say, it's like when they were talking about Kuntz. Remember what I told them? I was like, "You're fucking crazy as fuck, dude." And the one thing I always bring up first is you got to remember he's been here for 4 years. But he's been a 53-man roster player for 4 years, just like Meek Robinson. Those guys, you can't just be like, oh, yeah, Hall will take his spot. Hall's a fucking not even our player, literally. Like, we brought him here, we playing him, but my point is like, Meek is a 53-man roster player. So the dude that comes in to replace him has to be the equal or better. And I've even said this, like, where people will say, like, yeah, but look at the UDFA player that's over here and look how he's playing there. And I've always said, like, yeah, he may have a game or two better looking in the preseason, but the thing that the Raiders or any coaching staff is looking at, they still evaluate that he has 0 actual 53-man roster talent yet. You know what I mean? So when they look back, they're like, so as a Meek have that, yeah, he has it maybe once or 3 times a year. All right, we'll keep him. He's been good depth the whole time he's been here. You know what I mean? You know what you have. So that's why I've always said that the 53-man dude is hard to get off the team. It's hard, man.
I agree. And not only that, I have Meek slotted in as nickelback too, behind Hobbs.
Yeah, and that's why I think Cole, dude, like why I think Cole's popping up. It's just that he was here last year and they were trying. And then now that he's got Jimmy and Aiden and them fucking and Hoyer, dude, Hoyer snapped off a fucking touchdown with Devontae too. Like, that's why I just think, like, when you start getting these type of connections or things like this, I think, like, Cole can probably show up this year and be what he was supposed to be this year that he was supposed to be last year.
Yeah, just adding to that, when we signed him from the Jags, from free agency after he was with the Jags, I was pretty high on the Keelan Cole signing in the beginning.
I was too. I spoke on him multiple times in our lives, and then I got to the point where he disappointed the fuck out of me, so I started calling him No Hands Cole, dude. I was like, this fucking motherfucking No Hands Cole. I talked on him hella. I thought he was gonna be a good player for us, and then I was like, that's where I gave him No Hands Cole fucking nickname.
Yeah, because it got annoying when he kept dropping like so many possible touchdowns, apart from that one that he kept his feet in just. But so I called him Keisha Cole after that.
Anything you want to say, Jeff, or what?
Just about the receiving core in general, or Keelan Cole specifically?
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just in conversation of team.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Trying to think. I mean, I guess just to sort of circle back on the whole Cole Fotheringham thing. I mean, like I said, on paper, I could potentially see a use for him in this offense. For that matter, I don't exactly know how many tight ends are going to get cut. McDaniels might want to keep a relatively large number of them, right, on the depth chart. So maybe for that reason, his job might be safe. Obviously, we'll have to see, how the cuts go as we continue to approach the regular season. But I mean, it seems to me like you can never have enough tight ends in this system. So, obviously, the being a UDFA and pretty much making next to nothing in terms of NFL money, the sky's the limit. The low is very high. So, we'll have to see how that all plays out. I mean, as far as the likes of Keelan Cole go, I really, obviously going based solely off of last year, like I was not impressed at all. Had a very poor season in my opinion. So, but the other good thing about the wide receiver room is that there's depth there too, right? That's one of the things. Once again, at least on paper, we'll have to see how it ultimately plays out. But the wide receiver room, just like any other, position groups on this team, the running back room, like I just said, the tight end room, the cornerback room's another one. Pretty much everywhere you look, there's options, right? There's a good amount of depth. There's an ability for this coaching staff to figure out the pecking order and who's going to get how many snaps, who's going to be involved, how much. So, the prospect of Cam Sims is somewhat interesting. I mean, obviously not known for being an extremely productive wide receiver by any means, but maybe it's just a matter of finding the right scheme.
How old is Cam Sims? How old is he?
I don't think he's that old. And if I remember correctly, he was with Scott Turner, who's now the passing game coordinator in Washington.
I thought he was young. I thought Cam Sims was young.
Let's see. He is 27.
Yeah, so another guy. I mean, he's still in the time of his career where he still can be fast and still be good. So he's not old. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he basically what I mean is like he's still in a point in his career where he can still be dangerous.
Right.
The problem is like what's his stats? What's his career numbers?
I mean, nothing to write home about, but I'll pull them up. So, I mean, he's been in the league since 2018. His most productive year, he had 477 yards and a touchdown. He only has 3 touchdowns all time, so not too good. I mean, maybe the one thing you could take note of is
what's his career yards? What's his career yards?
804.
And then what's Keelan Cole's? And what's his age?
Keelan Cole is 30 years old. So Keelan Cole's most productive season was his rookie year. He had 748 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then 2020 had a pretty good year with the Jaguars, 642 yards, 5 touchdowns. So, yeah, I mean, I guess what we're hoping for is that
Keelan's gonna make the team over Sims. Keelan will make the team over Sims for sure. As much as I hate to say it, it's just because of his experience, his NFL. It's what he's put on the field. You know what I mean?
Right. So yeah, I mean, what?
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say because with the Jags, Cole was like a wide receiver 2, sometimes wide receiver 1, when they needed him to be a wide receiver 1. Whereas Cam Sims at Washington, majority of the time he was a wide receiver 3 or 4. So
yeah, I mean, being a wide receiver 2 on a very bad team.
Yeah, you get more targets than that, if you get what I'm saying. Like, because that team was so bad at that time, he got a lot of targets. Whereas Sims at Washington, they got what Scary Terry and stuff over there. So you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
but that's my point. That's why I think that's my point is where I think that at the end of the day, when you're looking at your 5, your 4 and 5 or 6. You're going to go to where the production is on the field where they were at. And at the end of the day, when you put Sims against Cole, even at 27, 28, you're really only gaining 2 years. The problem is in Cole's rookie year, he has more production than this guy's whole career. You see what I'm saying? Like, are we hoping, like, if Derek Carr was here and we were talking about revitalizing his fucking career, like I'd probably say, hey, I'm not gonna say that this guy couldn't have a Matt Collins type, deal. But the fact that he's never even had anything and he doesn't have Derek here, I mean, the more and more I keep thinking, like, if he goes to the practice squad, like, I think you'd want to take it to a young player, dude, in my opinion. Like, that's what the practice squad is supposed to be about, is sometimes harnessing certain veteran players, but more for developing young players, so.
Yeah, the only thing I do like Sims over Cole is probably size. That's about the only advantage.
So, like, bring up the receiving depth chart. Can you do that? Just bring up the receiving depth chart.
Yep, sure. 1 second.
All the players that are on the receiving depth chart, and then let me know when you got it there. I'll bring it up.
All right, 1 sec. Just a minute. Come on. Right, so I'm just bringing up the whole roster here, but I'm just going to scroll down to wide receiver just a minute. All right, so starting from the top, our wide receivers are Devontae Adams.
Bring up the screen. Bring up the screen.
Oh,
share the screen.
Oh, hang on. Share screen. Can you see that?
All right, let me get it here. All right, there you go.
You need to zoom
you
in.
Blow it up? Yeah, blow it up.
Just a minute. Right, hang on. So yeah, you got is that better?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right, so you got Devontae Adams, obviously, DeAndre Carter, Keelan Cole, Philip Dorsett, Chris Lacey, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow, Cam Sims, Trey Tucker, DJ Turner, and Christian Wilkinson.
All right, so then like when we look at the team, you look at Adams, you can damn near just lock him in. You look at Myers, lock. Renfro, lock. 3 players right there. Tucker, lock. So that's 4 players right there. So you can just say 4 dudes right there.
Yeah, that's
then
what
I've said, I've advocated since the second we got him, Carter. Carter's going to be a lock in there. I think that's 5 right there. So we look at one more. We look at one more player. You're going Cole, Dorsett, Sims, Lacey, Wilkerson, and Turner. Now, I think Turner will most definitely revert back to the practice squad. I don't know how old is Lacey. Is Lacey old, young? Like, how old is Lacey?
I think he's 20-something. Hang on, let me look him up. He's been in the league for a long time, I think, if I remember right. It's 2018. Yeah, it's 2 years in the league. Because he came out of Detroit. Yeah, he hasn't done shit. Lacey's a practice squad guy. He's 23.
Yeah, but see, that matters right there.
So he's a practice squad player to me.
Yeah, that matters. I have him as a practice squad player, but
yeah, so Lacey to me is practice. Yeah, I'll say Lacey's practice squad, maybe. Because he's been on our practice squad last year. I think
it's 100%. It's 100%. It's 100%. Because are you going to go and invest into him being in releasing your young player, or go put a fucking 30-year-old dude over there? I think you're going to invest into your young player. If it was me, so this is what I keep trying to say. Like, I think you're going to come down to I think Wilkerson's going to get cut. Like, that's what I think. He's a cut. Then it's going to go to Cole, Dorsett, and Sims. Cole, Dorsett, and Sims literally for that last spot, dude.
Yeah, it could be Cole. Yeah. You might be right there when it
then I think that's what I was just gonna say. Like, I think Sims cancels himself out instantly because Turner and Lacey will be on this practice squad. So I think those are your 2 receivers. And they're both younger dudes. You're developing. You're trying to build. Like, I think that shit matters.
Yeah, I agree. Turner and Lacey are probably gonna make the practice squad.
Yeah, it's gonna be Dorsett and Cole. I think Dorsett and Cole is gonna be that final battle. And like I said, they said in that practice, they said that in the practice that they opened up with 2 consecutive deep downfield passes to Cole, and then 1 deep pass down to Dorsett to put him in the touchdown, end zone area, where then Carter was the one that scored the touchdown. And then I'm just sitting here thinking, like, fuck, dude, like, you're just sitting here thinking about this shit. And then it's like, at first, when I was talking about things, I didn't even have that guy pegged on the fucking team to begin with.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a big battle for us to watch through the 3 preseason game. Who plays better, Cole or Dorsett?
Yeah, and I just keep thinking, like,
and Sims as well. Sims has to have a very, very big preseason though, if he's to stay on the roster. Unless they like I said, unless they put Sims on that protected, you can have a veteran on the practice squad. But I don't know. We'll see. Oh shit! Looks like we've lost Dustin. I'm here now. So just check. Anyone still in the chat? I think I've lost Dustin. I've lost Jeff. I said just there, so have a good night. Oh, it's Dustin. Sweat, I think he's having some technical difficulties. So hopefully we'll get that sorted in a minute, guys. So right now we're just discussing the wide receiving depth chart, particularly that 5th to 6th receiver, because as Dustin said, Adams is a lock. Jacoby Myers is a lock. Renfro is a lock. DeAndre Carter is a lock. And Trey Tucker is a lock. So those 5 dudes should be locks for wide receivers 1 to 5. We may keep 6. And then the 6 receiving spots either going to be between Keelan Cole, Cam Sims, and Philip Dorsett. Because most likely G.J. Turner and Chris Lacey will revert back to the practice squad. So with that being said, it's going to be, I think, as Dustin was just saying, it's going to be between Dorsett and um, Dorsett and Keelan Cole for that last spot. Now, I think speed-wise, Dorsett's probably the faster player, but Keelan Cole is pretty quick as well. And I think Keelan Cole will probably have a bit more production. I think better hands than Dorsett of his career. Are you still there, Dustin? I think Dustin's still freezing. So right now, I'm just going to look at, so I can't bring it up on the screen for you guys. I don't have access. So I'm going to bring up Keelan Cole stats career-wise, and then Dorsett's as well, so we can kind of compare. Because I think it's going to really come down to who has a better hands. Both guys are pretty quick. They're both got decent speed at receiver. If I remember rightly, Keelan Cole runs about a 4.3. So I'm just going to bring up Philip Dorsett. Well, there we go. So as far as career goes, Dorsett's been in the NFL since 2015. He has career receptions or targets 266 with receptions of 151 in 92 games. 2,000 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns for his career from 2015 to 2022. So that's 7 years. And this is where I think Keelan Cole is going to beat him out. Keelan Cole's been in the league only since 2017. So he hasn't been in the league as long as Philip Dorsett. So he's a younger player. He's only had 93 games total for 348 targets, 197 receptions for 2,832 yards and 14 touchdowns. So if you look at the production, I'd rather keep Cole over Philip Dorsett just on the fact that he's had only been in the league 4 years, whereas Dorsett's been in the league for he's been in the league for 7 years, and Keelan Cole already has better numbers than Philip Dorsett. Another thing I always keep an eye on with receivers is catch percentage. In his last season, Dorsett had a catch percentage of about 50%, which to me is subpar. His career catch percentage is 56.8, whereas Keelan Cole is about the same. His last year before coming to Vegas was 54, so it was a little bit higher. Before that, with the that was in New York. With the Jags, was 62. And he was pretty decent in 2019 as well, with 68%. And it's about the same catch percentage, 56.6. But again, I just feel like Cole's probably the better player, just based on he's a younger player, he's still developing, whereas I feel like Dorsett's hit his ceiling already. Looks like we've lost Dustin, so I'm still waiting for Dustin to get connection because I can't end the live. If you guys are still listening in. So with that being said, guys, I think most likely if we keep 6 receivers, the 6th receiver will most likely be Keelan Cole. So my receivers, I might have to update my depth chart, but my receivers is probably going to be Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers 1 and 2, Hunter Renfrow in the slot. Then you got DeAndre Carter, Trey Tucker, and then that 6th spot would probably be Keelan Cole or Philip Dorsett. And for me, I'm going to probably say it's most likely going to be Keelan Cole, especially with the news out of camp that we are just talking about a moment ago. I'd say most likely that Keelan Cole will be your last receiver on the depth chart. Possibly even 5, and then they keep Tucker in at 6 just because he's a rookie until Trey Tucker can work his way up. That's not to say that Trey Tucker won't be utilized right away as a speed receiver, maybe also on punt returns or kick returns sometimes. But as of right now, I believe that our main kick punt return guy is going to most probably be DeAndre Carter. You might also see Hunter Renfrow still on some punt returns, possibly, just because of the way the way they've utilized him in the past. I prefer that they just use Carter or Tucker for that, but that's me. I'm still waiting for Dustin to come back because I don't want to leave this live running and then you guys aren't getting any content. So I'm not sure what's happened with Dustin. We're having technical difficulties right now, and I don't have the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, so I cannot pull this thing down for you guys. So what I'm going to try and do instead, since this window is already open, I can bring up whatever on this window. So while we've got this window open, because we've probably seen enough of that now, let me see if I can get it to go to YouTube for me. We're going to kind of have a look at some stuff here for you guys. You should be seeing this still. So while we're waiting for Dustin and stuff to come back, so I'm just going to bring up for anyone that missed it earlier. This is where I believe Cole Fotheringham, I know he hasn't done much in the way of the, he doesn't have the best college tape overall, but I just feel like he's someone that can be utilized in our system. So I'm just going to bring it up for you guys again for anyone that missed out earlier. Just while we're waiting for Dustin to come back. So as you can see, he's traveling. He's going to run to the corner of the end zone there on that run block. So having a tight end 3 that can block like this is definitely an asset. I think this is why we picked him up as the UDFA. They probably saw the same thing. You can see him driving into the corner of the end zone there for his running back to get in. Then you also got this reception right here, where you can see he can definitely get up there and catch the ball. Like he definitely has that athletic ability to get to full stretch, get the ball in the end zone. Again, here you can see he's very athletic, hurling over a defender, running down the field. Not the quickest guy in the world or anything, but still very athletic for a guy of his size. So again, we're talking about tight end 3 here. We're not talking about 1 or 2 or nothing flashy like that. I say that Austin Hooper and Michael Mayer, your 1-2 punch when it comes to tight end. But this is a guy who can bring in his tight end 3. He's got athletic ability. He can block. He can catch. As we were talking earlier, his blocking is ranked at 66% on his NFL draft buzz profile. As you can see, he's just about to move up here. It's right up. I don't know if you guys can see, but number where the 8 is on the back, pushing that guy up forward past, I think it's the 40-yard line or something, if I'm not mistaken, just on the 40-yard line, the white line there, and then he's just pushing him up. There he is, right next to the running back, number 9, keeping that guy away from his running back, where his running back just scoots through probably for a touchdown or something, or at least some decent yardage. Here's another reception by Cole Fotheringham in the middle of the field. As you can see, he can spin around guys. He always fights with that extra yardage. So it does in your back. I was just showing these guys this again.
Fuck, dude, my fucking shit, dude, was
just for anyone that might have missed it. Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Just for anyone that missed it, I was just going over Cole Fotheringham again for anyone that missed it. This was something to do while waiting for you to get back. But yeah, like I said, this guy's for tight end 3. He can run, he can catch. He can block, he can catch, which is kind of all we need in a tight end 3, really. Like, there's someone I could still develop behind Hooper and Mayo for a year or 2 more. He's only been 1 year in the system now as a practice squad player. So I'm waiting to see him in preseason how he looks now. But he's bulked up. He's had a year learning the playbook and whatever. So he's also spent a year with Priscillo. So his blocking is probably even better than what it already was coming out of college. So I'm just eager to see what this kid can do after being in the system for 1 year. And I think he could beat out someone like Horstad. I mean, because we don't really need another receiving tight end. We need a blocking tight end at tight end 3, I think, more than a receiving tight end. We already got 2 guys that can catch the ball anyway with Hooper and Mayer. And you can kind of develop that reception stuff anyway. Like, you can kind of see here, it's not like he can't catch the ball. He just hasn't had it. I just don't think they utilize him at Utah as much as
And again, if he's used in the run more where he'll be utilized at, it's probably going to benefit for the blocking anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. That's exactly what I was about to say.
And like I said, he would be more dangerous off of the get-off, like getting onto a block and then getting off of him and the dude throwing to him. That's where I think he would be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see in these highlights here, too. You can kind of see it's not like he cannot catch the ball.
Yeah, look at that.
That was a deep. That was a deep throw there. So to him. So
he just needs time in developing. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah. So I think 1 year in the system already, and then having him develop now as a tight end 3, like so you can get him actual. I'll just close that. So you can get him like actual field time would be nice. Like stop. Sorry, I'll stop sharing.
How many
So
years,
yeah, like if you can get
how
him,
many yards and touchdowns does Tay have this season? Aside from Devontae, who is number 2 in yards from wide receivers, we have.
I say number 2, Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I do too. 800 yards plus.
Yeah, it's like I said, Jacoby Myers will get the second most, and then I say for touchdowns for Tay, I think his touchdowns will be about the same, but I think his yards will drop from last year. I think his yards will be around 1,200.
I think he'll be 1,200 with 12 to 14 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what I got to roughly.
And he might be 12, 1,400. I mean, I would say 1,200, 1,400. That's where I put him. 12, 14 touchdowns.
Just because based off of what he got last year and the fact we got more weapons now, it's just basic math. His numbers will probably drop. The only way his numbers will stay the same is if because our defense is better. If we can get more turnovers and get more time on offense and utilize that, then his numbers could stay similar in that sense. If we get more actual possessions on offense, there's that possibility.
Very true.
So, yeah,
dude. What happened was I got out because I had to take a piss. I forgot to turn my key on, so my fucking truck stayed on. It cut my volume, so I can't hear. So then I was like, I have to back out in order to come back in. When I backed out, come back in, the bitch wanted to have internet fucking issues, dude. So I literally had to turn around, drive back 15 motherfucking miles to get here to get fucking internet. So it fucking cuts my shit for some reason, dude. Like after when I sat in there and it was just spinning and spinning for like 2 minutes.
Maybe where you drove to before, maybe there was a black spot at the network.
Oh, there most definitely is because it's on that mountainside, but fucking nuts.
Yeah, mountain. Yeah, if it's near a mountain, because sometimes in mountains you also got metals. It can fuck up the network.
Hell yeah, it does, dude. It does.
Yeah, because you got that like if there's any like iron ore or fucking like metal in that mountain, fucks up the network. Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I was so pissed, dude. I was like, tried it like 3-4 times, like, you motherfucker, I gotta drive all the way back up there to go fucking bullshit. I was so mad, dude. I ain't even lie.
Yeah, so I was gonna say because I just got a message from Jeff that just had it off for the night.
He heads off at 9 o'clock all time. Freaking 12 o'clock his time, 9 o'clock our time. Because he's on the East Coast, so he goes till midnight. Yeah, freaking.
Because I was like, oh fuck, I have to keep the live going until Dustin comes.
I was hoping. I'm like, fuck, I hope he's still in there, so I don't just stop. But I don't know if you got any other topics you want to talk on, or else we can just hop off right here. So it's up to you if you have another topic or anything you want to speak on, or.
Yeah, just the only other thing I'll talk on is like I know we talked it to death. Just keep an eye on the running backs because like there's a possibility that the way things have escalated, I think Ziegler's at a point now. Like the only reason we brought in Damian Williams is death, but at the same time, like I think Ziegler's making a clear-cut thing to Josh. Like, if you don't want to take what we're offering, man, we're going to move on and figure out another way of doing shit. Like
well,
you said
I think,
earlier,
I think you guys made a pretty good point on the fact that it could be just the fact that Bolden and him. I mean, if you're changing him out for him, I mean, it's still like buying an old fucking blind dog. You know what I mean? Like you're just getting an old fucking dude that.
Yeah, you're only getting 2 years younger guy kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're looking at like the third, fourth depth piece, you're still looking like, okay, that's still good numbers for that dude. You know what I mean?
That's what I see. Damian Williams as maybe being that. They would have Jameer White, Britton Brown, and Amir Abdullah, and then Damian Williams.
Was trying to say like it's pointless, period, because they're both fucking nobody really gives a shit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's like we were saying the other day though. We've got to kind of like evaluate our depth too. You know what I mean?
That's true. It's true. You know, like I said, they got a good deal. I was thinking about on Monday. I don't know. Do you have a PowerPoint? Tuesday we're going to be live Tuesday. So, do you have a way to do a PowerPoint like the depth chart?
Not
like
really.
A way to bring up a depth chart. So what I was thinking about doing is like bring up a deal for the offense, and then go through the players with everybody on here, and then just figure out who we think would be the quarterbacks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Who do you think would be the halfbacks? You know, and make kind of our own 53-man roster right here on while we're live.
Can probably do that because there is a way to do a presentation on Canva apparently, but I've never used it. But I can probably try and figure it out.
Yeah, what Wednesday ours would be Thursday yours, Thursday 11 a.m. 11 a.m. your time.
I should be free. I'll let you know though, because I should be free. I don't think I'm going back to work until the 18th for me.
Or Wednesday, it'd be Wednesday,
which is
right?
Which is the 17th for you.
Yeah, because if it's Tuesday for us, it'd be Wednesday for you, 11 a.m.
That should be fine because Wednesday is my normal day off anyway. I'm only off at the moment because I'm looking after my dog.
Yeah, if we could, if you want to do that, set it up for that day, we'll do it on that day, and then we'll go over it for the actual, like, what we think, how, like, you know what I mean? We can make one throughout all the players, and then when it posts on the last one, just see where we're at.
Yeah, because I was going to do something similar once we get through the preseason anyway, like, because that's why I kind of do my prediction now, and then like that obviously that'll change once we get to the end of preseason though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just to kind of see like how it is now compared to how it goes by the end of preseason.
Nope, I agree, because that's what I was thinking too. Just do one as a whole panel together, and then just see where we're at when they cut the team. And then just see how close we are.
I might have to talk to AR about it because he knows how to do some of those tier lists and those kind of.
Yeah, ask him and see if you can get it done by Wednesday next week, dude, and see if we can do it. It'd be something good.
Because he does a lot of tier lists and stuff, so I don't know what app he's using for that, but he usually does a pretty good job where he does like the player cards, pictures, and then he can move them around and stuff between tiers and whatever. But if we do one like that, but instead of having like tiers, you have positions.
Yep. Nope, that'd be perfect. I think that'd be perfect.
So I might ask him
or even build out like a fucking our own depth chart, and then we'll just enter the names ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like build out fucking quarterback, fucking halfback, tight end.
Let me show you something now. 'Cause I'll just show you now. I just gotta go to share screen and I'll just hang on. I'll just open it up. Hang on. So if we do it this way, it may work. We'll see. I'll just go to share. Hang on. There's that. Share screen. All right. Hang on a sec. I'm going to close that down. Zoom in a bit more. Hang on. This one. Yeah.
Yeah, if you build something like that.
Because I should be able to. I think I got to zoom in because sometimes it's annoying trying to click on the fucking thing.
You just got to add the fullback position.
I've got it with the running back position. Hang on.
Yeah, but just add a fullback. So then just add a fullback like below it because we'll make it our actual roster. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
And, at the end, can you put a practice squad too? Like at the end,
I was thinking
down there.
because with the picture down here, I got a bit of space, so I can just delete the picture of Ziegler and McDaniels and add it.
Yeah, just put in practice squad, and then let's see how close we can get to our players.
Because I'm just trying to see if I can. You should be able to click on these names and move them. But hang on. Bloody thing's been annoying to me right now. I think I'll have to create a new one.
Just hit edit, and then fucking do it. But you know, you got till Wednesday. If you got till Wednesday, just bring up something like that. And then just move the fullback down below where it has its own spot, because then because you got to count the players. You know what I mean? And when doing it like that, and don't get me wrong, that there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying in ours, it would be like QB, halfback, fullback, wide receiver, tight end. You know, like that. You know what I mean? Like all the way down, and then do it like that, and then we can do our guard, left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right tackle in that already. I just got to add. I think I've got to add left and right at the end.
Yeah, you know, and then when we go through it, we can either do it in 2 segments or do it all at once. Where in the first segment we do the offense, and then the second segment we do the defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or if we have time, we can do it all together at one time.
Yeah, I was just thinking might have to do 2 just because the space.
Yeah,
Depending.
I mean, like I said, I'd be down to do it in 2 segments, one for the offense, one for the defense. Because then that way you're setting up both. And don't get me wrong, the defense is going to be a little complex. You're going to talk about players, everybody. You know what I mean? People are going to have different.
The
different
defense
ideas.
will be harder than the offense, I reckon.
Yep,
It took me a while to
exactly.
it took me a while to narrow it down to like 5 fucking DNs.
The
And 5
offense, I
defenses.
think, will be easy agreements. I don't think you're going to see too much disagreement.
Yeah.
The defense could be all kind of disagreements.
I think the only one I'm going to change on offense, or the couple I'm going to change on offense, is maybe if you take Brandon Bolden with Damien Williams possibly. And then the only other thing is, after really looking at it today, we could probably switch out Dorsett for Keelan Cole.
Yeah, because I think it's going to be a battle between both of them. And then I was even thinking about it. Cole has more familiarity in the system recently. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that, and then because you might not have heard me before, so I'll just show you because I was doing this for people that were still listed in, right? Let's look at Dorsett first, right? So if you look at Dorsett career-wise, he's been in the league since 2015. He's had so what's that? That's like 7 years. So in 7 years, he's had played in 92 games.
15 is 8 years.
8 years, sorry, 8 years, yeah. So 15 is 8 years. So yeah. Sorry, I got to count that actual year as well. Yeah. So in 8 years, he's participated in 92 games. He's only ever started 19 of them. He's had 266 targets in 8 years for 151 receptions and only 2,001 yards and 12 touchdowns. Now, if we go over to Keelan Cole, right? He's been in the league since 2017 to 22. So what's that, like 6 years or something?
17
to 22.
Yeah, 7 years.
5. Yeah, is it?
No, 6 years. 6 years.
6 years. Yeah, so in 6 years, so 2 years less than Dorsett, he's already been in 93 games, which is one more than Dorsett in less time. He's been started 37 to Dorsett's 19. He's had 348 targets to Dorsett's targets 266, right? So he's had more targets for 197 receptions to Dorsett's 151 or whatever it was, and he's had 2,832 yards, almost 3,000 yards to Dorsett's 2,000 yards, and an extra touchdown at 2 touchdowns at 14 to 12, and their catch percentage is about the same, about 56%. So I'd take Keelan Cole. He's younger, had more production in less time than Dorsett.
That's what I was thinking. And after getting on those reports, I've said I've not been I advocated Keelan before, when we got him, because of what he's done in Jacksonville and the quarterbacks and everything of those factors. But I've also said I was against them as the year went on, and then this year I was like, yeah, I don't think so. And then now the more and more I read about him in camp and everything coming alive, I'm like, man, this guy keeps showing up just like fucking meat, dude. It's like right when you wish you can get rid of a motherfucker, it's like that's when they want to be good. You know what I mean? So it's fine. It's fine.
Maybe that means they listen to the criticism.
Yeah, I mean, hey. Don't get me wrong, Sergio, dude, he made a post, dude, and Amik fucking hit him up, dude, told him, oh, here we fucking go again, dude, and, fucking Amik commented on his post saying that shit. He is all fucking butthurt.
Oh, cool. That's cool, man. Yeah, because, I won't lie, last year I was a bit down on Amik, going into, last off season, before 2020, before the 2022 season, but this year I make that same mistake twice.
Yeah, that's facts.
This year I said not. This year I'm same thing in 30. It's like there's no way Amik doesn't make it. I have Amik penciled in as my nickelback 2 right now.
No, that's true. I mean, I think Amik for what? Hold on, what did you say? You have him what?
So you'd have. You
said the number 2?
No. Nickelback 2, second behind.
Oh, okay. I was hold on.
No. I'm saying on the outside you'd have Peters and Jacorian.
Nope, I get it.
And then in the slot you'd have Hobbs, and then after Hobbs you'd have Amik backing up Hobbs, and then you'd have Faison and Shelley backing up on the outside.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Fucking Shelly showed up too for a pick, dude. Like I said, man, these guys, I've said it,
And
dude. When pads and
Face-
everything come on, the game changes, man.
I might even drop Faison out. It depends on his injury. But if Faison is healthy, I have him penciled in. So I think we're going to keep 6 corners.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. If you start seeing them venture out to start looking at a corner, that's when I'd probably start worrying.
Yeah, that's when I start worrying that maybe Faison ain't making the team.
Yep, exactly.
And just to answer a question here with from Dennis, yeah, I think that I could see that happening if they think Munford has progressed enough. Munford could take right tackle and move Illumino into guard. I've always said Illumino is more of a guard anyway.
Yeah, and he wants to play right tackle, so it's going to be tough. I get that. It's going to be tough, but he wants to play right tackle, but he has said that he will play guard and play what's best for the team. So,
exactly.
like I said,
and if you look at Illumino's time in New England, he probably played his best at guard, right guard.
yeah, fact. So he's probably played right best at guard, period.
But that then makes that whole right guard spot way more competitive because if you take Illumino out of right tackle, right, I had the right guard battle being between Nathan Moody, Greg Van Rotten, and Alex Files as the veterans, and then also McClendon Curtis as the rookie, right? So that's those
Curtis
four.
busted up some dudes over there too today.
What's that?
Curtis, he busted up some dudes over there and against the Niners too today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you already had 4 guys competing for right guard, even without Illumino in the picture. So if you add Illumino to the right guard battle, then that's 5 guys competing for right guard.
Yeah, and Van Rotten's been showing up too.
Yeah,
so that's
I ain't gonna lie, I've been saying since like.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, no, I just want to. I know you know, but I'm just gonna bring it up for someone because I want to see if I can. Hang on a sec. I think I had to sign into my YouTube. Fuck.
Yeah, no, I think Van Rotten, he has been popping up here, dude. They have said like he's got Mueller in him, so
yeah, I agree.
Like you said, I mean, they'll have to see in time where and everything. Like I said, you're gonna have to figure this out in the next few games in preseason, that's for sure. So, and then them kind of reserving Aiden and Chase almost tells me like they're probably gonna play him right here in the preseason game. So.
Just a minute.
I can't wait till fucking Sunday, man. I can't wait. First time I get to see the Raiders all year in uniforms. Like, let's go.
I just wanted to bring it up because not saying you or nothing, but some people think I'm bullshit. So while we're live, I'll just bring it up real quick. Because I know which live it was that I spoke about. So I was gonna find it. Give me 1 sec, bro. Won't take me that long.
MEG porn star to fucking an MVP. C-Dub, appreciate you, bro. He said porn star and MVP. I mean, hey, fucking, if Hemi goes and gets porn star and MVP, I'll take that all day. So let's go. I mean, hell, as many hookers as he's got promoted up over there in Vegas right now. I mean, we should all get one for free. So we should all be hooked up.
Just give me a minute, man. Just keep talking. I was gonna find something real quick.
What is it?
Just for people that might. I just gotta find the part of the video that it was on that I
I think that we play Munford.
All right. First of all, see, I was talking. This video is what? How many? 4 months ago, right? I said Jimmy G to the fucking Raiders, did I not? So it's just other people that think I'm bullshit and don't know my shit. Not you. Shut up, baby. so here I am talking about Jimmy G 4 months ago when people are still talking about fucking Brady. I had Brady on that too, but I said more likely we're getting Jimmy G, right? And I said $34 million possibly, but I was fucking close. I said it was 24, but whatever. And that was so there was that. And then I said Robert fucking Spillane. Did I fucking know it? 4 months ago, I said Robert Spillane was coming to the fucking Raiders.
Yep, I picked him. I picked him or Bush, dude, right when we were in there. I said that he was going to be one of the 2 guys.
Yeah, because that's when you and I first started talking. You were like kind of on the same page as I was. But yeah, so 4 months ago, you can see in the video there, 4 months ago, right? I spoke on fucking Robert Spillane. Right? I fucking spoke on it. And I said inside fucking linebacker. Anyway, let me see if I can. There's one where I started talking about Jacoby Myers, right? And who's on the team now? Fucking Jacoby Myers.
Oh yeah.
Right? So I spoke on Jacoby Myers coming to the Raiders. I fucking said that shit. And that was before. This is 4 months ago.
Hey, Splain's gonna be a fucking fire beast, man. C-Dub, I think fucking Splain's gonna be a killer, dude. I think he has that Max Crosby mentality,
who's on the
bro.
roster right now? Who's on the roster
Yeah,
right now?
he has that Max Crosby mentality. I knew he was coming here. I said that too. I knew he was coming here for sure because
Sweet, cool, Kev.
I knew that I knew hella people were gonna that he was coming for the system.
So Philip Dorsett, right? That was another one I spoke on, right? So how many players is that now that I already said? Oh, who was on the team that we just fucking cut? Fucking OJ Howard. But didn't they sign him originally?
Hey, I
So
called that cut fucking from the get go, dude. Right when we did our live, right when we got him, I got intel right away that they said he'd be cut for Horsted, dude. And I brought that up in our live the second after we got him that he wasn't going to make it on our team and that he would be cut for Horsted on that at the end of the day.
But like I said, man.
If you can build up that, though, build it up, dude, and then fucking, you said Antonio Brown was coming back too in Arnett. I know I never fucking said that. Not on any. Fuck both those sorry ass motherfuckers, dude. Throw fucking bricks on their fucking feet, throw them in the Oakland Bay, bro. Like straight up, fucking bloop, bloop, bloop. Hey, Arnett over there trying to rob motherfuckers, straight rob motherfuckers, and then you got fucking Antonio Brown doing his practice football, like with his team, like over there. He fucking looks old as fuck when he runs out there. He don't even look like he couldn't even play football if they paid him. Like he couldn't even play football, dude. He looks like an 80-year-old man over there, dude.
I'm just trying to find the one where I did the O-line. Hang on.
Crab trap for the dead bodies. Yeah, he said crab trap for the straight facts, dude. Fucking get some big old crabs out of those motherfuckers. Yeah, I think fucking I thought it was crazy when I seen AB the other day fucking playing in that deal. I was like, what the fuck? He did not look the same at all. Trying to catch a pass on the side, dude, just looked fucking old. Just looked old, hell old. For the guy as good as he is, how good he was, dude, like there's no denying how good he was. Just went batshit fucking crazy, and then everything else dissipated after that too, man.
Yeah,
it just sucks when you
here it is, man. So yeah, this is
Arnett was trash from day one.
I was trying to find this one in the video, but yeah, this is 6 months ago. I said Greg Van Rotten to the Raiders. Because I could see 6 months ago. Because sorry, that was my bad. I was looking at the wrong video before. That was the recap. So that was my bad. But yeah, this was back in I did this one 6 months ago. That was week 17 when I knew we weren't doing shit for the year. So I started doing free agency. So yeah,
I'm not a Van Rotten guy. I think at the end of the day, if Curtis can show up, Van Rotten won't be here. But still, you just never know. I mean, you just never know. I mean, at the end of the day, if they felt the rotation was stronger with Illuminor being guard and Moody being tackle, they would already been making those transitions. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's what they're doing right now is moving all kind of players around.
Are you able
and
to
if they've seen that transition be on the field that showed that it would be good, I think they would make that move and make it permanent to begin with, you know? And that's why I think Van Rotten, dude, I mean, I think Moody has a better chance of making it out than Van Rotten, but I don't know. We'll see, man. Fuck, I'm not a Van Rotten.
Yeah, I get it. Are you able to pull that one up at all?
I'm not a Van Rotten fucking fan in any means.
Yeah, so that was my bad. I did pull up the wrong video before, but this was the one. This one was before we signed anybody. The other one was the wrong video. That was my bad. But this one was 6 months ago. And I said, like, this was like week 17 or I think week 17 of the season when I started doing free agency shit because we weren't doing shit. I think it was maybe after the Steelers game. I can't remember when I made this one. But about 6 months ago, and I said the very first guy I spoke about was Greg Van Roten because I could see how weak that right guard spot was. But yeah, that was literally the first offensive lineman that I even mentioned getting in free agency.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, like I said, he's younger. I mean, he's 31, dude. I mean, offensive linemen, they'll play till they're
exactly. And then not only that, I mean, yeah, he wasn't primarily the starter there, but I think he started once I had an injury. Like, as you can see, he only started 4 games. But he only had 2 penalties, and then he didn't give up any sacks at all. So
yeah, and Moody started over there too, and he's younger, and that's why I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of shit that's gonna go on between these guys through the camp,
I agree.
Everything like that. I mean, you're gonna have Moody. Like I said, if Munford shows up, it'll push Luminor out. Like, you have so many things going on. You got Wagner, you got all kind of dudes back there. Parker. I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of things going on, you know.
For me, the main battle though for that right guard is Moody, Alex Bars, Greg Van Roten, McClendon Curtis, and possibly Illumina if they decide to switch him for.
I think fucking Bars is garbage, dude. I mean, that guy he's good mauler.
Yeah,
he's a good mauler when it comes for the run, but outside of that, he sucks. And
let me that's a good thing to bring up. Let me just close some windows because I got like 50 million windows open right now. Just a sec. And then I'll bring up like the premium stats and that from PFF because I got the PFF thingy for the premium stats. And then I'll show you why Alex Bars was literally like the fucking weakest link on the whole offensive line last year.
Yeah,
him and Parham, but Parham I give slack because he's a rookie. You know what I mean? Like, I give Parham a bit of slack because he's a rookie, whereas Alex Bars ain't a rookie. So
yeah, Bars like fucking had 44% in the pass. That's where he was at. Then his run was like 68 or 70, somewhere up in there. So I mean,
it wasn't quite that. I think it was 60 something.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's 60 something, 66, 68, somewhere in there. But again, that's my point. That's my point. He's not even worth. He's not even.
I don't know why we've been hearing Alex Bars getting hyped because I don't know if you've noticed, but Alex Bars has been getting like hyped up in camp and shit.
I mean, I haven't heard it, but all right.
Because I got him slotted in as a starting right guard. But hang on, I'll just
just like fucking Ziegler and all of them said, I want to take anything for granted where dudes line up right now because they're going to be moving them all around fucking 20 different places.
Yeah, look how terrible that. Can you share that for a minute? Any chance?
I think at the end of the day, I mean, Ziegler and them already spoke on where dudes.
Yeah, look at that. Look how terrible that grading is for Alex Bars last year. That is terrible. Like, pass blocking 55, run blocking 39.6.
Yeah, I mean, trash.
Yeah, and now if I'll just switch it out. So you've seen that one. Now we'll go. Yeah, just a minute. Actually, before we do that, I'll go to like the. I wonder if there's a way to look at more years. Hang on. So we'll go back one more year. It's like he's that much greater the year before he came to us either. Look at that. That was the year before. His run blocking was better in 21, but look at his pass blocking in 21. Terrible.
Yeah.
19.8. I've never seen a pass blocking grade that low from a guard in my life.
That's my point. It's not even good to be there, so.
Yeah, let's go to the guy that I'm saying. Hang on a sec. Because this would be a good thingy to check all this while we're on the subject, you know what I mean? Like,
you said throwing the 5 sacks allowed too. Facts, dude.
So now I'm just going to bring up Greg Van Roten, who we just brought in. And this is why, not great receiver, but definitely better than that shit. So last year he had 60.4, which is a bit higher than 55, I think. And then he has a way better run blocking grade at 58. Not the greatest, but better than fucking Alex Bars, man. Didn't have any sacks. Had only 3 penalties. He played 159 snaps at center and 194 snaps at right guard. So he can be that swing guy too. And then if you go to 21, let's have a look at 21. At 21, he had a 75 run blocking grade and a 53 pass blocking grade. Still better than fucking Alex Barr's 19 and fucking 50.
That's facts. I mean, like I said, he'll prove it here as we go.
And
you're
then
gonna
the
have
other
a chance
guy,
to prove it for sure.
then I'll bring up the other guy just so people can kind of like get the comparison. Yeah, there is Nathan Muti. We'll look at Nathan Muti. He's another one that could. I feel like it's out of him and Greg Ratton more than fucking Alex Bars, but we'll see. I mean, Priscilla.
They're all low, dude, in their grades.
This is why I like Muti as well, kind of like Cortez. I'm pretty high on Muti. I think it's between Ratton and Muti. Like, if you look at last year, look at Muti, man. 68.7 in pass blocking and 60.7 in run blocking, man. That's pretty decent.
I've said the whole time I think Moody's going to be the dude.
Yeah, me too. I said him or Van Ron. It has to be one of those two. And then, yeah, if you look at the previous year, still pretty decent, 52. Van Ron's a bit better than 21 in the pass blocking, but the run grade's about the same, 59.3.
Yeah, but you'd have to look back a year before there because I think that was the year he would have been benched over there because they swapped schemes.
Yeah, if you look at 2020, there's Muti fucking 15.8. Jesus. So, but it goes to show you his progression, though, from 2020 to 22.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it shows that he's learned a lot from 2020 to 2022.
That's bad.
He's gone from pretty much like a really low 15 fucking whatever it was pass blocking to 68 in 2 years. So that's pretty good.
Like I said, I think Moody, I've spoken on it on here numerous times. I think Moody is going to be the right guard. And if Van Rotten earns it, he earns it. I mean, at the end of the day, dude, I mean, just because I prefer not having him there and somebody else, I don't run the team. I don't make the fucking team. And I've always said, like, whatever players are the best players for the team is who's going to play. I don't have an issue. Like, once they say who's on the roster and that's where they're at, then that's where it is. You know what I mean? And then they got to fucking prove it outside of that. So, outside of it, I can't delay.
Because this is the other point I wanted to make now that we've seen those other guys. Jermaine's not as bad as people think. The thing that makes Jermaine look so bad is the fucking penalties. Because he did give up 3 sacks, but the thing that kills him is those 10 penalties, which is like 8th most for tackles, I think, in the NFL last year. But like, look at the like you can see the grading is pretty high, like 76 in pass, 75 in running. So like, it's not like he was one of our best offensive linemen last year, technically, him and Miller.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he'll prove it out this year.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't have a problem keeping him there, but he has that 10 penalties is the issue. And then if he
gets rid of that, then he can be better.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you get rid of those penalties, he'd probably bump him up to an 80, which is around where Colton Miller is. So I want to give you a breakdown of penalties. I'm trying
We're
to see
gonna
if
have
I
to
can
hop off here, man. My woman, she keeps messaging me, dude, and I gotta get off here and get going.
Yeah.
But look it up. What is it? What is it that you're looking?
Raiders Allegiance is 3 sacks. 3 sacks. I'll show you. It wasn't 5. The one that had 5 was Alex Bars. Jermaine Illumino had 3. See, 3 sacks. Bars had 5, but Illumino only had 3 at right tackle.
But 6 were false starts.
Yeah, I agree with that. So yeah, if 6 were false starts, you can fix that for sure. That would make it only 4 penalties at that point instead of 10. So if you can fix the 6, because the other 4 were holds, I believe. So I don't like Lunatic has said, I don't mind a guy holding when he has to, protects the quarterback. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, especially if it's gonna fucking injure our quarterback, all the fuck out of that dude.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, like Lunatic saying, yeah, if we can fix those other 6, that'll drop his penalties down to 4, which that's
hell yeah.
Number.
Hell yeah.
Four's okay. Oh, were you talking about Alex Bars? When you said 5 sacks?
Yeah, throwing away 5 sacks.
He must have been talking about Bars.
Yeah, because Bars is garbage, dude. I've never, like I said, I knew he was going to start. I knew when we got him he was going to start just because of the run game mauler he is. But outside of that, I'm not much for Bars. Just like I'm not much for Van Rotten either. I just think if you go with Moody or somebody of this factor, you're going with younger players. You have longer time, things like that. What was Andre James? Oh hell, we ain't got. All right, hurry up, look it up. We got to get off here.
All right, I'll just do it real quick.
Yeah, we can do it on the next, dude. My woman, dude, she's just been sitting here fucking nagging my screen the whole fucking time, dude. I was sitting down over there, so I wouldn't have any issue. Let me see real quick.
You just add the thing back in, or is it still sharing? Ah, shit. Sorry, guys. Oh, are you there, Dustin?
Yeah, I was just trying to see if it switched off that bullshit. Yeah.
I stopped sharing. Can you just add the thing back in?
I can at least start heading that way this time.
Is it sharing now? Oh, you got it. Yeah, so there you can see Andre James only allowed 3 penalties and 2 sacks. Run blocking, pass blocking separated to 64 and a run blocking to 59. So it's not bad. It's not the worst.
Look at Parker and see where, or Haron. Look at Haron and see what his is.
I'll look at Parham first. So, because people keep saying like they want Dylan Parham, right? I don't think so. I think Parham's going to be more.
Parham's going to stay there 100%. I'll bet hardcore money on it.
And not just that, I just don't think he'll make a better guard than a center, I think.
He ain't going to be a center. He's going to stay right at the left guard.
So, because people are hyping up him a lot, he's better as a run blocker anyway.
They can hype him up all they want. They can hype him up all they want. Andre James was fucking there, and they're probably didn't they even give him a contract and everything? So I don't know. It is what it is.
So yeah, with Parham, he had 5 penalties. Parham allowed 6 sacks. His pass blocking grade was 48, and his run blocking grade was 66. So, like I said, his Parham's run blocking year one was pretty good, but his
hell, I'd like to go back to Colton Miller's and see what his rookie year was. Probably way worse.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it'd be a good idea to move him to center because some people out there are saying they want to put Dylan Parham at center over Andre James. I'm like, fuck no.
They just say that because they said he can play center and guard. That's the only reason why people are saying
yeah, exactly. But he's not as good as pass protector as James. James is a better pass protector.
And again, this is multiple years and
four now.
Together.
Yeah.
Multiple years in the system. And then, look, he had 6 sacks, and as a rookie, Colton gave up, 13?
Exactly. It doesn't mean anything, but I'm just
saying. Yeah, exactly. I think what it is the continuity within the players and the team together is what I think makes it, is what's going to make it good. And I think when you get to bring them back after playing together, and look, even with the grades and the numbers that you're looking at, they still went from the fucking 29th ranked line to the fucking top 10. So you can't just act like that shit doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So those grades can say whatever they want. Their productions show differently on the fucking season. So
yeah. So if you look at Heron's like a swing tackle. Because I went back to 21. So 62 in run blocking, 45 in pass protection, but he played 187 at left tackle and 182 at right tackle. So it was just a swing tackle for New England. Kind of like Brandon Parker.
What's Munford?
Hang on. I'll keep Munford over Heron. Yeah, so look at Mumford, 71 pass protection, 56 run block in his rookie year. Only gave up 1 sack and 4 penalties. And the same amount of snaps, because Heron had about the same amount of snaps, about 350. Mumford had 369. Only gave up
How
4
many
penalties,
sacks
1
did he give
sack.
up?
Just 1.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's my point, man.
And if you look
like
at his pass blocking is actually pretty high. It's almost up there with the Luminors. And then the run blocking is still okay, but that's something he can work on anyway. Because if you look at it, he had 300 snaps at right tackle and 69 snaps at tight end as the eligible. You know, when they brought him as the eligible tight end thing for the run blocking in the end zone? Yeah. So I'd rather keep Mumford over Heron or Parker. Like if I had to choose, yeah. So that's why I've already got him penciled in as my swing tackle or my starting right tackle. It's going to be one or the other. And the only way Mumford starts at right tackle is if Illumina swings it up, wins the right guard spot.
Yeah, because he would be stronger than any of Moody or Van Rod. But
Exactly.
like I said, at the end of the day, you want the strongest line.
Yeah,
period.
exactly. Especially with Jimmy G back there. So what I'm saying is, if you had
and like Munford or Illuminor's body style, like his body style, his little little roly-poly style gives him more of a guard demeanor than a tackle.
Yeah, I agree. Raiders Legions, Lunatic. Yeah, he gave up 6 sacks, but he's a rookie. So I've always said, like, I give Parham slack because it's his rookie year. Can't read too much into it. He didn't make the all rookie team for no reason. And then also another possibility people aren't considering though, like what you just said about having the strongest line possible. There's a possibility that they don't have Parham in as a starter, but as the swing guy between left, right guard, center, etc. And then have like 2 other veteran players at left and right guard. It's a possibility. I say keep Parham at left guard. That's me. I'm just saying it's a possibility if they want to have a veteran guy at left guard over Parham. But it just remains. It's whoever wins the job. You know what I mean? Because for example, what if Muty plays left guard and Illuminor plays right guard, and then Mumford's right tackle? Like that's another possibility, man. And then you got James and Miller.
I know that Parham is Ziegler's first pick as a Raider. He ain't going fucking nowhere.
Oh no, he's not going nowhere. But I'm
Parham
saying
most definitely staying the starting left guard, and they're gonna make damn sure he gets better every year for 100%. Like that's exactly what Ziegler's doing. Because I've said it, dude. I've said it. Like he moves multiple places within the line. That Ziegler's
he's not going there. I'm just saying he'd be the perfect swing guard center.
His first year compared to Colton Miller's first year is night and day fucking different, you know. So, like I would say, I've never even heard anybody bring up it. Besides, you're the first person I've ever even heard that take brought up. So for me, like I would say, I get the hot take part of it, but I've never indicated any reason why you would do that, because even in his rookie year with 6 sacks, I've said it. You got Colton Miller, that's a fucking one of the best in the business right now at that spot, and he gave up way more. Like, what was his grade? Like fucking 10, you know? So that's all I'm saying. Like, I think Parham's first year wasn't that bad. Like, I get it, it's bad, but it's
I agree.
Bad.
I'm not saying that's what I want. I want to keep Parham at left guard. I just want to make that clear. But I'm just saying, if they really think like, you know, they want to have like the best line possible in the sense of like veteran guys, it's a possibility that they keep Parham as the swing guy and then have someone else there.
Yeah, I've always said if Van Rotten was as good as he is, why wasn't anybody else looking to get him? Or why is he not on the starting team?
He'd only be on the right guard. I'm talking about like maybe Muty or someone playing left guard, but yeah.
Yeah, but then you're just devaluing your draft pick, so I couldn't see it happen. But
unless they keep someone like
Muty, there's no way to justify a 3rd round pick being your swing tackle or guard. Like, I don't think you can justify those conversations. Like, yeah, I picked my 3rd round pick for my swing guy. He'll be the backup for the next 10, 20 years, you know. I don't think they want to hear that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he'd be the starter, go back to being the starter eventually. I'm just meant if it's just for a year or 2.
Yeah.
But
hey, we'll see for sure. We'll see it for sure.
Just for a year or two until we get like why we got Jimmy back there. If they want to do it for a year or two, and that way it develops Parham at the same time because he's still on the 53 and he's still like learning as the swing guy. If you get like how you normally do it their rookie year, but then they're just doing it different because he had to start his first year because we didn't really have an option. But
yeah. I mean, look, I can understand it if you had somebody here that was just a badass. Like I would get that point, but there's nobody here that's a badass that would fill that spot. Like no one.
But
and then again, it comes back down to.
That's what I mean. It's kind of up in the air with the guard spots.
Van Rotten would most definitely back up more than he would. Like I said, you can't. Hey, like we'll see. I guess like Ziegler and them would not be able to justify the conversation that they bring in 31-year-old Van Rotten to replace their fucking first pick of their tender here, and he's 23 years old. Like you would not want to, like, again, that's not a fucking successful GM conversation, you know, like I just cannot see that happening.
Hold up. I didn't say that Van Rotten was replacing thing. I said maybe Moody can start because he's younger.
Yeah, I mean Moody, I can see Moody if anybody. Again, those are all.
Because I was saying if Aluminum plays right guard, then you have Moody at left guard, and then Parham as a swing if they want to develop him slowly, rather than throwing him in the fire again this year.
He's already been thrown in the fire, so I mean.
Yeah, I know, but we didn't really have an option last year because we didn't have the.
I mean, once you're there, man. I mean, once you come out and revert, you're never going back there. I mean, that's how the NFL. Not for long. That's why it says not for long.
Like I said, there's also a possibility that they keep like Moody or someone as like the swing guy, or it's even possible, yeah, as a swing guy.
I think Moody. I've said that. I think I've said it the whole time. If Moody wasn't the starting right guard, he's going to be the backup. I've said that even in my fucking deal over there. I got it.
Yeah, because I think one of them is going to be cut. It's either going to be Van Rotten or Moody is going to get cut.
I think at the end of the day, it would probably be Van Rotten just because of age purposes. Not like I said, he's just been a backup. I mean,
Bars to me is a cut casualty as well, right? He's gone.
If who?
I said Alex Bars to me is a cut casualty. He's gone.
Who?
Alex Bars. I'm saying Alex.
Oh
Bars
yeah. Nope, I agree 100%.
So
again, like Van Rotten, dude. Like I said, I've spoke on things like I always look at youth and younger deals, but at the end of the day, it's what again I've said right now. It's the best line possible, and if he makes it for I thought it was.
for life. NFL, yeah.
Yeah, he said that's funny shit. Fucking no, that's all I say is if he makes it, he makes it. If he don't, he don't. You know, like I said, I don't prefer him, but if he's the best player on the field at the time, then I'm not going to argue it. Priscilla knows the offense better, and I'm never going to know it. I'm not on the team. I don't coach the players. I don't know the chemistry of what's going on. I'm just telling you my own personal preference of the player I know.
Yeah,
like I don't think he's my pick. That's all I'm saying. And outside of that, dude, say what you guys say so we can hop, man. And then we'll be back Tuesday. We'll be back Tuesday, Tuesday our time, Tuesday 7 p.m. our time, Wednesday 11 your time. Yeah. And then if you can have that deal so we can go through the 53-man roster on there, that'd be fire, man.
Yeah, I'll try.
And then outside of that, heck yeah, outside of that, man, I appreciate everybody that stops by, everybody in the chat, all the mods, everybody on the panel, everybody, period. I appreciate all you guys' support. We'd go longer, man. It's just my woman, dude. She's over here. She wants her damn food. She's been complaining to me for the last fucking 2 hours. I just keep ignoring her message, and she's like, I know you see my message, motherfucker. So, like I said, I better get over there before she slashes my tires. But outside of that, man, like I said, I appreciate everybody. I always say don't drink, don't drive, man. It's not going to kill you. It's going to kill somebody else, dude. Call an Uber, sleep it off. I've always said, man, it's just not a good thing to do. Like to just be careless about somebody else's life just so you can have a good time. Just selfish fucking piece of shit. So outside of that, I hope everybody has a safe weekend, safe night. Appreciate everybody stopping by. And outside of that, I hope you guys have a great day. Do you have anything you want to say, Ozzy?
No, I'm good. Just shout out to everyone who showed up today. Appreciate the support for the DSR, for myself.
Hell yeah, like I always say, go support Ozzy, man. Support his channel. He puts out good content, good stuff, man. He got a lot of good insight. Like I say, we'll try to have him over here more and more often so we can be able to, get more and more insight from him. He got good intel. So outside of that, I appreciate you stopping by like always. And until Tuesday,
Yeah, I try
I
and
hope
kind
you
of
guys
look
have
at things.
great.
I'm very methodical in my thinking. I think.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the only way we can do it. And the more and more we do it here, the better and better we'll all get at it. So
Exactly.
outside of that, have a great night. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out.
The king and his men stole the queen from her bed,
Touchdown!
bound her in her bone.
Hammer Jones takes it
The
in.
seas be ours, and by the powers where we